Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody. Back again. We are back for day 3 of the NFL draft, and we got it all going for you. The NFL draft is just about to get started. It is 10:59, 11:59 Eastern, 10:59 Central. The Colts have really knocked this draft out of the park so far, and really, they're picking early here in the 4th round, and they have another 4th round selection. They have 2 picks inside the top 10 of the 4th round. The Saints have traded up with the Chicago Bears, so they will be picking first. The Texans have 2 back-to-back picks, and then it will be the Colts. The Texans make me nervous a little bit, but just a little recap, Jay. Julius Brents, Josh Downs, they're at 79. I don't know how, but talk to me, man. How are you feeling now that we've had a night to sleep on it?
Man, I woke up tonight and I was like, I still can't believe we got Josh Downs where we got Josh Downs. Like, I had to pinch myself to see if I was dreaming, but I was like, nope, I was already awake. And we're still living in the reality that Josh Downs fell from the 42nd overall player and wide receiver 5 on my board to the 12th wide receiver off the board and 79th overall prospect taken. Insane. Great value. Great steal, I think. And he's got Reggie Wayne saying that he needed him to be a Colt. He's got Steve Smith Sr. signing off on him saying he's got that Roddy in him. I love that pick. And then Julius Brents, I really, really like that fit. A phenomenal, prototypical Gus Bradley corner. I mean, it's hard not to love the guy, especially since he's local. I mean, we got some really good high-impact athletes at some premium position needs. Now we're going into round 4. We got 2 picks within the top 8 of round 4, and we still have a few needs here or there, but nothing crazy. So let's see what happens.
Quick update. The Eagles have now traded up with the Texans. They are picking ahead of us. They're the pick right before us. Something tells me they're targeting Keely Ringo here.
Yeah, I could see that. They love those big-time athletes. They love Georgia guys, too, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, there's still a ton of good players, man, to remember. DeJuan Jones, the good tackle, is still out there. Adeboire, the edge rusher out of Northwestern, is still out there. You still got Clark Phillips III, who I really want to see become a Colt. There's your Kenny Moore replacement. He can play inside, play outside as well. Still, at corner, you still have really good things. Linebackers, an underrated need. Look out for that. There's still things going on. But, man, this round is going to go a little bit more faster than we're used to with the first and second round. So, still trying to check. Trying to check here. Man, you've already had 2 trade-ups. Saints traded up with Chicago. They're picking first. The Eagles have traded up. And really, I'm a little bit nervous just because of who's still on the board. Again, some of these guys who are falling, I still don't know how Ringo is still available. DeJuan Jones, how is he still available? He would be a good swing tackle for the Colts here at 106. He would be really good for them there.
I love me some Darius Rush. He's still on the board if we want to go double dip at corner. And then when interior offensive lineman, there's like Chandler Zavala, Andrew Voorhees. So you have to wait on him because he got injured.
Real quick.
Some great guys.
I must have missed it. The Texans have traded their other pick now. Ooh. So the Saints, the Raiders, and the Eagles select ahead of the Colts now. 3 teams traded up. You got to imagine the Colts are fielding calls about a trade back. They're not trading back right now. So they're probably targeting someone here who's falling. Knowing Chris Ballard, I got to think it's Adeboire from Northwestern. I would have thought he may have gone by now.
Like, he is an inside-outside threat. He feels like he could be like the natural, like, Danico Autry, Dio Dangbo kind of role. Add some amazing depth inside and outside.
Yeah.
Out of Northwestern. I mean, hard not to love the kid, and I'm shocked that he didn't go in round 2, let alone round 3, and he's here in round 4.
Yeah. Saints are on the clock. Goodell is at the podium. I don't know what he's saying. He's on mute right now. quarterback. You think they should target a quarterback? I'm still a fan of getting a young guy, stash him on the practice squad, let him learn and let him be your backup for a couple years.
Like I like Hayner. I like Toon. Dorian Thompson-Robinson would be very good if we want someone to run a very similar offense to what we'd run with Anthony Richardson as the backup.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know if I want any of those guys this high in round 4. I think there's plenty of other guys who can make an impact right now early on. But as we get into later in the draft, like round 5, 6, you could see the Colts go for another quarterback to add some competition to this depth chart.
Yeah, this is a really busy 4th round right now. There's trade-ups happening. I got to imagine Chris Ballard is getting calls about it.
Because there's more than 4 players out there that have like round 2, round 3 grades still on the board. So definitely, it makes sense that teams are willing to call and trade up to get some of these guys. And why other teams would be willing to trade back, because they might still think they can get a great value just a couple picks later.
Yeah. Well, the Saints are now officially on the clock. These picks should probably start ringing in here a little bit more consistently now. And again, guys, thank you for everybody who's watching, whether if it's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Thank you, guys. Thank you for following along. We're going to be covering the 4th and 5th rounds today, Saturday. Unfortunately, I have adulting to do, so got to go and take care of some errands, but we are providing as much coverage as we can for you guys. So originally, it was supposed to be the Bears, the Texans twice, and then the Colts. Now it is the Saints, the Raiders, and the Eagles. Again, there are, in my opinion, there's top 50 players still on the board. There's 2 of them still on the board. How? I don't know. There's got to be something out there that teams know about, whether if it's character, medical. I don't want to speculate because I don't want to speak on somebody's character, but something is going on. Keely Ringo is still there. DeJuan Jones is still there. I got to imagine this is probably an area where DeJuan Jones, it makes sense for the Raiders because Alex Leatherwood did not work out. He was cut and then picked up from Chicago on the waiver wire. So now they have a needed offensive line. They could be looking there. Philadelphia, for some reason, screams Keely Ringo here. But just talking about the Colts right now before some of these picks start coming in. My ideal pick, I'm torn between 2 guys, Adebawore from Northwestern or Clark Phillips III from Utah. Those are the 2 guys I'm torn between. What about you, Jay?
Ooh, I really like Adebawore. I was thinking we were possibly going to get him in like round 2 at some point or round 3, so I'm shocked he's still here. I'd love that pick, but also some alternative names out there. I love Chandler Zavala. He has risen a lot throughout this pre-draft process at a guard spot, so we could really use a right guard. He is my top-rated guard right now. If he's still on the board, that would be really cool. Same with Voorhees, though we'll have to wait for him because of that combine injury. But my guy is Darius Rush. I love me some Darius Rush. The only player I mocked to the Colts in both of my pre-draft mocks. First one was in round 4. Second one was in round 3. He is still here in the early part of round 4. And he makes sense with that Gus Bradley prototype at corner. We already did get Julius Brents, but why not double dip? We only have 3 cornerbacks right now that we feel pretty confident in to play significant snaps. But in the NFL, you need at least 4. So I'm willing to take a shot on Darius Rush. Let's go.
I like it. Darius Rush is another name. I would probably just prefer Clark Phillips III only because I feel like the dude is probably one of the smartest players in the draft at corner. He's got to be. I mean, came into Utah immediately as a freshman, was making big plays, had 2 games against Jordan Addison this year, completely shut him down. He knows how to use his body. He's a bigger Travius Hodges-Tomlinson to me. He's a bigger one, longer arms, bigger player, and just knows how to use his body and knows how to be in position. The pick is in right now for New Orleans. Pick has yet to be decided. Now the picks are just going to start coming in across the board. I don't assume they're going to have people coming up to the podium that much right now. So let's see, trying to update and see what we got going on here. The Saints are selecting offensive lineman Nick Saldiveri.
Old
Okay.
Dominion guy. He's a tackle, but he could be shifting inside at the next level. So that's not a bad pick for them. Might not be my top offensive lineman, but makes some sense with what they need.
And still no DeJuan Jones.
Yeah, I do
Still
not
no DeJuan Jones
for him falling. I've heard murmurs of like possible character concerns, but I cannot confirm nor deny the veracity of those. So I'm not going to speculate too much on that. But still, I'm shocked that that local guy from Indianapolis is still on the board early round 4. Hell, we were thinking he was a possible round 1 guy towards the end of day 1 of the draft.
Yeah.
Here he is still in 4.
Yeah. Man, that's still, I mean, character issues. And this is something that I speak about with Chris Ballard and really any other franchise, really, when they talk about how they want to build a professional organization, good culture. Your culture, you must not believe that much in your culture if you're not willing to take in a guy with character issues, let alone in the 4th round. Really? Like, look at the Steelers. Mike Tomlin does not care. He will help and try to work on those issues. Last year, he took George Pickens. George Pickens, in my opinion, was a better prospect than Alec Pierce. Better. Much more athletic, higher hops, bigger catch radius. He had character issues, came off the Colts board on the day of the day 2 of the NFL draft, came off their board for character concerns, and you take Alec Pierce. Steelers don't care about that, and guess what? You now have a really solid wide receiver, potential wide receiver 1 for the next 10 years. Like Tomlin, a guy like Washington too. If you had a guy with injury or character concerns, Mike Tomlin doesn't care. He's going to take talent. And that's why he's never had a losing season. Say what you will about, character here, injury there. Mike Tomlin knows what he's doing. I mean, he's got it. And I wish some of these teams, especially now that we're getting in the 4th and 5th rounds, get over it. Like, get over the character issues. If you are so good of a culture, if you have a great organization, take a kid in and blossom him. Grow him up.
Absolutely. Like right now in day 3 of the draft, you are much more able to take these risks. What's it going to cost you? A round 4, round 5 pick? Like, take the shot. Like, at this point, if you get a starting level guy, it's a hit. You know, take a shot on a guy who you believe can be a starting level guy, no matter what the concerns are. Go for it. As long as the guy's like issues are not based on like something very, very bad, like you're worried he's going to be going to jail in a couple of years, like then you take him in round 4, round 5 if he has this higher level talent that he would have been evaluated like in like day 2 of the draft. Like, go for the guy. Yeah. And the Raiders are now got their pick in. It's Jacorian Bennett, corner, Maryland.
Man, I like Jacorian. I liked him.
He might not have been quite what the Colts typically look for in a corner, but he is very, very interesting out of Maryland. So
he is a physical corner.
Oh, yeah.
He is very physical. Yep. Jacorian Bennett to Las Vegas. So now the Eagles are up, and then it will be the Colts pick. All of these trade ups, I assume the Colts are looking to pick here. Somebody is there. Somebody is there that the Colts like for right now until a trade comes in. But someone is there that the Colts value, that they like. Let's see with what they're going to try and go with.
Yeah, Eagles are right now on the clock. They could go Adebawore to really, really add to this insane rotation that they have at D-line, or they could add Keely Ringo, who is a little bit raw and had some rough tape this past season, but has all the physical traits you could want in a corner. And, of course, he's going to struggle against, like, a Marvin Harrison Jr. Everyone was.
So question. Let's assume, just for right now, for assuming purposes, let's assume the Eagles go Keely Ringo, okay? Get more Georgia guys on. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Georgia was the best defense we've ever seen in college football, and now they're drafting players on that same defense. So, I mean, it's a good strategy by Howie Roseman. But for the sake of argument, let's assume Ringo goes here to the Eagles. Jay, the pick has to be DeJuan Jones, right?
I don't think it absolutely has to, but it makes a lot of sense. Either him or Adebawore on our boards are probably the only guys that you can confidently say have a possible round 2 value. You know, the other guys, there's some possible day 2 value guys, some round 3 overall talents. But honestly, those are the only 2 that I could see being these big 2-round swing when we were projecting them to go.
Don't get me wrong. Keely Ringo is there, and I like him, but DeJuan Jones and Adebawore, man, I think I just would like those players first. And remember, the Colts pick again in 4 more picks. So you have picks.
It's going to be a very, very interesting, quick turnaround. And then after those 4, we're going to have a little bit more of a wait, but then we got 4 picks in round 5. And we got 4 total picks in the top 150.
Yep, the Eagles are going Keely Ringo. The freaking Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Well, it makes sense. When they won their Super Bowl, what kind of masks were they wearing? Dog masks. They're going all Bulldog.
Yep.
I mean, can't hate them. They are amazing at just continuing to add talent to an absolutely stacked roster. So they're getting an A+ draft so far. No question about it. All right. So Keely Ringo, like you said, off the board. And you're thinking DeJuan Jones has to be the pick? Is that
I mean, you have an offensive need. He's a tackle. He can slide inside. I mean, it makes sense. Adebawore makes sense. A lot of guys make sense right here. A lot of guys make sense.
If you want to go for a more inside guy who's like already there, like you don't have to worry about how he slides in, then you could go for like a Zavala, who I had a round 3 grade on. If you're willing to wait, Voorhees, I was really close to giving him a round 2 grade right before the scouting combine. Then he tears his ACL, so he's now a round 4 evaluation. But if you're ignoring the health concerns, dude was a solid day 2 pick prior to injury. So I could see them willing to wait on him. But yeah, there's several offensive and defensive linemen you could go with. You could go corner. Heck, there's also your guy, Tyler Scott out of Cincinnati, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Might not be the top-ranked guy on our boards right now, but he is also a pretty good value here if we want to truly just stack this wide receiver core.
Yeah, the Eagles' war room was really excited right now. The Colts can go so many different ways. I mean, I think a guy that I had mentioned earlier with Landon, there's a guy out there from BYU. Blake Freeland is still out there. You know, he's a tackle that's still there. But DeJuan Jones, I just feel like it's got to be maybe a lineman here because there's some linemen that are here. Mm-hmm. I think like Blake Freeland, Adebawore, Clark Phillips III, but I can't get my mind over DeJuan Jones. People are passing on him for a reason. So do the Colts also pass on DeJuan Jones?
The pick is in right now, but you're saying DeJuan Jones is what you're
I don't know what I'm saying, honestly. I would probably say Adebawore.
I'm going to go Adebawore just because I've heard a lot of smoke about how the Colts really, really, really like Adebawore. And I don't know if they think he's going to last to 110.
Well, they've drafted 5 Georgia Bulldogs off that defense.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Howie Roseman's a genius, man.
Blake Freeland.
Blake Freeland?
Blake Freeland.
Great pick. Great pick. Great pick. Great pick. Offensive line. There you go. So all the salty people, they finally go offensive line. There you go.
Yeah, I'll take that. I will take that. Good. Ooh.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, one of
if
the
I remember correctly,
/ tackles.
If I remember correctly, I think he was a 3-star coming out of high school. Look at his highlights here. Yep. Yeah, this is a good pick.
Very athletic tackle and
Yeah.
guard.
And really, at worst, this can be your swing guy. So I'm not mad at it. If it's not right guard, guess what? He can be your swing. You're building more depth in the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Let's get to some of the comments here. All right. We got Ian Kennedy. I believe I got a name that the Colts have interest in that could be had in the late 5th round that I'd like both of your opinions on if you know him. All right. Manny Ramsey, wide receiver from Fort Hays State. The way he finds the dead zones and coverage reminds me of Cup and Edelman. 5'11", 200 pounds. Ran the shuttle in 3.96, so he has speed too. I've never heard of him, if I'm being quite honest with you. I'm not going to pretend and be like, oh, yeah, I've heard of him. No, I haven't. But if he's performing well, and a 3.96 is really good for a shuttle. You can find somebody in the 5th round there. Remember, Cooper Kupp was not a high draft pick, and he's possibly the best receiver in football. Personally, I think it's Justin Jefferson, but Cooper Kupp has an argument, right? He's got a lot of yards, a lot of production, Super Bowl champion at that. So there's a lot to like there. If, the Colts always find somebody in the lower ranks of college football. They found Rodney Thomas. They found Isaiah Rodgers. They found Grover Stewart for Albany State. They find guys.
Tarleton State.
What's up? Yeah, EJ Speed from Tarleton State. Yeah, Stephen.
I've never heard of Tarleton State before.
Yeah, I've heard of Tarleton State only because I live in Texas, so I know about it. I visited there. Great campus, by the way. Beautiful campus. Good agriculture school. Let's go back to Ian Kennedy here. If we get Jones, does anyone like a Braden Smith slide to guard? I mentioned this last night. I don't like the idea of paying $200 million at both of your guard positions. Braden Smith is a tackle. He's getting paid like a tackle, so play him at tackle. Mm-hmm. Catfish and Bass is back. We can shut up now. There you go. Yes, there you go.
There's the offensive line. Shut it.
They went offensive line. He says the shuttle he stumbled on, man. If he stumbled on the shuttle,
and still I don't know. 3.96.
If he's really good with his feet, then, hey, you never know.
Yeah, he could have some very nice depth for the Colts, especially at a slot receiver kind of role.
Yeah.
Another late name guy, like who I could see sneaking in like round 6, round 7, small school guy. Shaq Smith. Or no, Shaq Davis. Really, really great deep threat guy, but just that's all he did. And like in an HBCU school, he just was running deep balls. Like he was averaging 20 to like 21 yards per catch in each of the last 3 years. Like insane deep threat. Just he needs a lot more polish, and especially with his hands, he had a lot of drops. But hey, you take a shot on an athletic freak who dominated at a smaller program in that late, like 6-7 round range.
So it's being reported right now in regards to Keely Ringo. I think it's a lazy reason, but I'll read it. Eagles rookie corner Keely Ringo dropped a bit after dealing with shoulder dislocation, labrum tear in college, as well as a concussion. Regarded as high character, talented player, had some second-round grades per league sources. Come on, dude. Really? Because of that? Come on. That's such a lazy reason for teams to just pass on talent like that.
Yeah.
It's just, oh my gosh, I don't get it. Giga Mouse, I don't know what that is. Hello.
It's a mouse.
I wonder if that's a bot. I wonder if this is a bot. Catfish and Bass, here we go again. Ballard probably saved his job for another year because of this draft. Hey, he ain't have no choice. He had to save it. There's nothing else that he could do.
Mm-hmm. Now all we need is maybe one more guy who's more so an interior offensive lineman at some point in like this round 4, round 5 stretch.
Yeah.
I could also see them go with another. I honestly could see 2 more offensive line picks before like the early part of day 3 is done.
Yeah.
We got 6 picks in round 4 through 5, and now 5 more. Like, yeah, I could see 2 more of them being offensive linemen.
So with Blake Freeland here, Dan Brugler, who is one of the better draft analysts in the country, I assume he's probably the best. He doesn't have the highest marks for Blake Freeland. You know, he says that he's going to get exposed by NFL talent. And sometimes, you know, playing at BYU, they're in a Power 5 conference now, but always being independent, not going up against the greatest competition. You can never really hone in on your skills. You can never make them sharp. So Brugler says he's going to get exposed by NFL talent, but has the length and talent upside that warrants a mid-round selection. So, you know, this isn't necessarily a home run, okay? There's going to be some work to be done with Blake, but new offensive line coach, he's going to be able to get him getting into a group with guys like Quentin Nelson, Bernard Ryman, Braden Smith. They're going to be able to help this kid a lot.
Yeah, I'd give this pick around like a B grade. You know, he might not be one of the top players we had on our boards, but he definitely fills a need. He's got that versatility, great athleticism and length. He just needs to, you know, work a little bit on his just functional strength and continue to know how to drive and maybe, you know, learn how to go up against like top pass rushers since, you know, like you said, BYU just didn't have that same level of competition at times. So I'm willing to take that chance right there. Solid B pick, you know. Can't complain for that.
Yeah. Okay. Not really seeing that player at all.
Yeah, he had 26 starts at left tackle and 8 at right tackle, according to Nate Atkins. So I like that versatility, going both sides, because we need both sides.
Oh, hey! The Colts are going to select Adebawore from Northwestern.
Wait, we traded up?
No. Well, I think maybe. Did they? Hold on. I said no when I don't even know what I'm talking about. Hold on. I'm not sure if this is confirmed yet. Hold on. Hopefully I didn't jump the gun.
If we get Adebawore, though, at 110.
This is going to be such good value. Hold on.
That's an A pick for me.
The Seahawks are selecting offensive lineman Anthony Bradford.
Yep. That just came in. Houston still is possibly on the clock. Yeah, Kevin Bowen tweeted out that the Colts take Adebawore. So I think the broadcast is delayed.
Okay. What the heck is going? Oh. Okay. Let me catch up here. Hold on. Bro, if they get Adebawore, that's going to be such good value. That is going to be such good value.
Mm-hmm. That A+ grade right there. A+ grade. I had him in a high 2, maybe late first round projection. So getting him all the way at early day 3. Woo! Love Adebawore in Indy. Ooh.
And you're adding talent. You're adding talent there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I like it, man. I like it. Yeah, and Kevin Bowen did confirm. Dylan Horton going to Houston. Let's get it. Let's get it. So TCU has had a player drafted in each round so far.
It's always been at least only one pick, you know, for each of them. So
yeah,
like it was first round, Quentin Johnston.
Yep. Second round, Steve Avila.
Third round, Kendre Miller. Now they got your guy, Dylan Horton.
And he's a dog, man.
Could they get THT in round 4 as well?
Who knows?
Taking a shot on him. He's small, But man, is he one scrappy as hell corner.
Let me see here. Okay.
Like, it hurts that we did not get my guy, Darius Rush. Maybe we trade back up into the fourth and get him, or maybe he somehow falls to us in round 5. Crazier things have happened. But I can't be mad with getting a really, really good swing tackle / guard and then a phenomenal defensive lineman.
Yep. Adeboare, a former track and field star in high school. So you're getting an athlete. And Adeboare has really, I guess you could say, the athleticism, natural traits you can't really teach. And if you can get that on the field, kind of like with Dio Odengbo, how Chris Ballard talked about him, someone who just has straight traits and athleticism, we'll take that and then we'll hone in on the everything else to go along with it. Yep, it's on my TV now. Kind of a hybrid guy, can play inside out, and obviously Chris Ballard likes that. Position versatility. Man, that is an awesome pick. I like it.
In case people need to know how to pronounce this guy's name, it's Adetomiwa Adeboare. Ade Tami Wa Ade.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's pronunciate it together.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
A
De
Tomi
Wa
De
Wa
Ray.
I ain't gonna remember any of that. So
Adetomiwa Adeboare.
hey man, yeah, let's get it, baby.
This first one to just Ade. Ade.
Man. Love it, Dylan Horton. We're going to be seeing Dylan in the AFC South.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be seeing him. Oh, my gosh.
Just an absolute freak of an athlete at DT or D end. So long, so fast. Great size as well for if you're going D end, but he's undersized a little bit for a D tackle. But he just has such an amazing length and speed. Great get off. Like his 10-yard split, which is more important for a defensive lineman than the 40, was 1.55 seconds, which is the greatest we've seen.
And I was curious with Adeboare to look up his Ross score. Shout out Math Bomb, friend of the show, Kent Lee Platty, creator of the Ross calculator, shouting him out here. Northwestern defensive tackle Adeboare, his Ross score was a 9.72.
Woo!
That is hella impressive.
46 out of 1,620 defensive tackles since 1987.
That is insane.
RAS.
His arm length is 33.9, so literally almost right there at 34.
Yep.
Here we go. 40-yard dash. It was a 4.49. Really good for a defensive tackle. Graded, on the calculator, graded out at 10, which is the highest you can get. 20-yard split, graded out at 9.99. Right there by 10. And then his 10-yard split was a 1.5. Again, another 9.9. This is really good. His composite agility grade considered elite. His shuttle 4.2, graded out at 9.84. And then his 3-cone 7.1, graded out at a 9.88. That is elite athleticism. And Chris Ballard continues to hone in traits, athletes, and you love to see it. I love it. I love the pick.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. I don't know, man. We Chris Ballard is knocking this thing out of the park. Damn. Clark Phillips to the Falcons, so he's off the board here. I really liked him, but the Falcons are getting one hell of a player.
Mm-hmm. know what's crazy? Like, Josh Downs is the worst RAS athlete that we've drafted since Will Fries in 2021. And he's 8.99. Like, freak athlete in everything that he tested except for the fact that he's small. And he's the worst athlete at RAS. That just shows you how much Ballard loves these athlete guys. No
do
matter
they
what.
even grade guys, or do they just go to the Ross calculator and just put them up there?
They're like, okay, this guy seems like a nice athlete. We trust our team to develop him. Boom, take him.
A tweet from Daniel Jeremiah here. After the combine, there was talk that Adebawore could sneak into the end of the first round.
Yeah, I am.
My Daniel Jeremiah had him ranked as his 51st ranked player, and the Colts get him at 110 in the 4th round. Wow. You just talk about value, and my goodness. And the Cleveland Browns are going to end up taking DeJuan Jones from Ohio State.
All right. They could use another swing tackle for sure.
Let's see, trying to update my board here. So now, for right now, the Colts are kind of out of the mix right now. They won't pick again till the 5th round.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a wait for the Colts right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a wait. You still got 2 7th rounders and 4 5th round picks, so you can use one of those to trade up for a guy.
They could.
They could.
Like,
all right.
Picks are 138, 141, 162, and 175 in the 5th round, or 176, and then in the 7th round it's 221 and 236. So yeah, we got around 20 more picks until our next one, like 25, 26. So we got time. Ooh,
whoa! The Patriots are going kicker.
Yeah, Chad Ryland from Maryland. Hey, that's good for us. That keeps moving talent down the board for us.
There you go. Keep taking kickers, I guess. Keep taking them.
Him and Moody. Thank you for not being, Freeland or Adebawore or
Adebawore.
Yeah, moving these guys down.
Adebawore just seemed like a Chris Ballard pick.
Absolutely. And
it's weird because going Freeland and Adebawore could signal they had Freeland ranked higher on their big board than Adebawore. That's interesting.
It's either that or they were worried about a run on offensive linemen before they got to their next pick, potentially.
Yeah. Maybe considering there's still a lot of corners left, so maybe take the tackle and hopefully Adebawore would have been there. They got their wish.
Yeah.
Man, Clark Phillips to Atlanta. That was like a really good guy that I really wanted. He was like not necessarily a Kenny Moore clone, but if he reaches his ceiling, he'll be a better corner than Kenny.
And that's some high praise right there after what we've seen from Kenny from 2018 to 2021.
Yep. I mean, they're showing his highlights right now. Might have to cool down on being handsy a little bit because the NFL, they're going to be a little bit more strict on that. But, I mean, even his games against USC, playing Jordan Addison, I mean, locking him down, forcing a fumble in the Rose Bowl against Jackson Smith and Jigba. He can, shoot the gaps on blitzes, sacked Caleb Williams there. Man, that was kind of like almost a dream pick of mine. So he's off the board now. Still plenty of corners, by the way. If you want to double dip, still plenty.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, of course, we've seen – honestly, I think the reason that the Colts went Freeland was because there was a run on offensive linemen immediately afterwards. I mean, with Jake Andrews with the Patriots and then Anthony Bradford the next 2 picks after that. So that's kind of what I think they might have read the board going up forward. But, yeah, plenty of corners still available. Ooh. Panthers go Chandler Zavala. Woo.
Damn.
Good
pick for Frank Wright.
Bryce Young is going to be very happy with that.
So, real quick, a note on Adebawore. A tweet here from Brent Sabelski talked with Adebawore at the Senior Bowl. He's okay with everyone calling him Tommy in casual conversation, but he's adamant about being addressed properly in a former setting. Just something of note for those who will cover his career. So let's go ahead and work on getting the first name down anyway, since we're going to be covering his career. Adetomiwa,
yeah.
Adetomiwa Adebawore.
You got it.
Okay,
got it.
all right.
Well done. Hey, I think players are understanding, especially that it can be a learning process. Like, hey, we had some issue when Bobby Okereke went to Okereke, as that's how it's properly pronounced, and a lot of people struggled. We got to be understanding that it takes a process to kind of learn how to say someone's name. Or Darius Leonard to Shaq Leonard.
Yeah.
So hey,
slip up. Remember, Shaquille still said he wouldn't mind be calling Darius because people still call him Darius. My thing is, why did you tell the NFL Darius when you went to the draft if your name was Shaquille?
Yeah.
You were announced at the draft as Darius Leonard.
Like, I'm a little confused as why he didn't address that, like, even earlier in college at NC State.
Like, if anything, he could have done it during the draft. You went to the combine, you had meetings, you had interviews, you even got scanned for the NFL Madden game, and you still didn't tell them Shaquille Leonard. Like,
it took several years. It took up until last year for him to make that correction.
Yeah, and I still call him Darius here and there, only because he said publicly, I'm still okay with being called Darius.
He's okay with Darius. He's okay with Shaquille. And he's also okay with Maniac.
Yeah.
You could also maybe call him Mr. High Flyer, which was his high school nickname for basketball and his but it just doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I keep it with the Maniac nickname.
Oh, this is a good pick right here for Chicago. Running back Roschon Johnson, man. This is a guy who is really talented, obviously played behind Bijan Robinson, so doesn't get a ton of love the way he should be, but he can really he can really take in what the offensive line is doing. He's good at following the holes that's created. A really good pass blocker, too. A really good pass blocker in the backfield. So that's a good pick right there. Really good pick. See here. Just going to try and update this board here. The Packers pick is now in. Let's see what they go. Pick is in. All right, let's get it. Oh, man. If only, right? DeJuan Jones is gone. Keely Ringo is gone. Adebawore is gone. Clark Phillips is gone. All right. Yes. Dylan Horton. Get off my board. Go make your money. Go make plays, except for Indianapolis. Kicker. That's still interesting. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. What are other comments saying? Oh, we've had a few comments since then. Sorry, people. What's this one say right here, Jay? Oh, I think you're muted, dude.
My bad. I'll just repeat what I said. I'm confident at least 3 of these players will turn out well. Ballard has proven himself to be great at drafting good players, from Catfish and Bass, our good old friend. Yeah, I agree. This, if we're talking 3 of these players, so like total in the draft, yeah, there's a good chance that 3 of them are going to turn into instant impact or starting caliber guys at some point, like within the first couple of years. So Ballard seems to always consistently get at least 2 to 3 bare minimum multi-year starting caliber players. So I think there's a very good chance that we're going to have some of those guys. Hopefully, of course, Anthony Richardson is one of them because he's the first one and he's the quarterback. So, and he becomes better than just starting level, but insanely good. We'll see on that. But yeah, I got to love Julius Brents as a pick. I love the Josh Downs pick at that value. And then Blake Freeland as a swing tackle, great depth for us right now. He might not be an instant starter, barring injuries. And then we got Adebawore, man. He also will be more so in the rotation rather than a starter, just because we got plenty of talent ahead of him in terms of at 3-tech, we got DeForest Buckner. Adebawore isn't starting over DeForest Buckner, barring anything crazy. We got Ibukum, we got Kwity Paye, and he could compete maybe with Dio a little bit, but I really like Dio as well. So he's going to be in this rotation. And like we saw with the Philadelphia Eagles, you can never have too many good defensive linemen. It's a very rotation-heavy position. Let's keep our guys fresh, and Adebawore can do that in multiple roles. So I love the pick, especially round 4 with a round 2 value. Let's go.
Back here with Ian Kennedy, leaking 2 to 3 picks early. Hey, man, that's the reality of day 3. Something I do really like about this draft class is that Ballard is drafting different positions every time. Well, that's a good thing because you have holes. So can't just really sit there and say, oh, let me keep on drafting here. You have so many holes on the roster. You need depth almost everywhere. So, and remember, the Colts had a ton of free agents, and they didn't bring a ton of them back. They brought back who? Doolin. Can't think of anyone else.
Well, they didn't bring back Yannick. They didn't bring back Okereke. They didn't bring back Paris Campbell.
EJ Speed.
They did bring back EJ Speed, though.
Yeah.
They did bring back Doolin, like you said.
And they brought in a lot of other outside guys, Faroa Brown, Samson Ibukam. I mean, there's holes on this team. And again, remember, this is going to be a young team, a growing team, and simmer your expectations for 2023. We might be drafting top 10 again next year, but you know what? It's going to be fun because there's going to be so many young guys, so many young guys you can watch, so many young guys you can see grow, and whether they have a good game, a bad game, it just fluctuates throughout a rookie year, and especially with the young team. So it's interesting to see. Still trying to update the board here. If they get to the 5th round, City So from Eastern Michigan going to the Patriots.
That's a good pick right there. I really liked him as a pass protector there. He dominated at Eastern Michigan. Small school guy, but he's got a pretty good athletic profile as well. He could grow into a really good player despite his small school status. So I like it.
Yeah, almost reminds you a little bit of Central Michigan product Bernard Ryman, right?
Yep.
And that was kind of my knock on Bernard Ryman. Playing at Central Michigan, you don't play against bookend talent in college football. You don't play against those top edge rushers. So maybe that played into it
really well
with him falling.
Yeah. But there still is plenty of other guys who are at bigger schools for offensive line still around. There's Luke Weipler from Ohio State. I have him as my top center remaining. He's still on the board. If you want a guy who's a long-term possible replacement for Ryan Kelly after this year, he'd be interesting. You got Andrew Voorhees if we're willing to wait on a guard, since, like we said, he ain't going to be playing until next year, potentially. So there's some really interesting offensive linemen still on the board. Also, Antonio Mafi out of UCLA. He's been a riser as well. He'd be an interesting pick as well if we want a guard. Like, I can't complain right now. And we have a bit of a wait. But once the round 5 kicks in, we have the 3rd, 5th round pick in round 5 and the 6th. So it's going to be a quick turnaround at that point. So right now we're at pick 119 is coming up next with the Vikings on the board. And we're at pick 138. So got a little bit of a wait. A little bit of
a wait.
Ooh, okay. Bats in the comments saying we're going to miss Yannick and Bobby. You know what? We very well could. We very well could.
Let's get back to the comments, actually. Yeah. What is Bill Belichick thinking? Oh, for trading up for a kicker. Yeah. What are you looking for in the Colts' next pick? I'm thinking you can really go several different ways now. You've kind of addressed your top 5 needs. Look out for tight end. Ballard mentioned tight end. Look out for double dipping at corner, depending on who is there. Wide receiver, I feel like it's still a sneaky little need right there because Isaiah McKenzie is here for only 1 year. So probably might want to double dip here with these early 5th round picks. You could look at safety. Rodney McLeod is still out there. You know, Julian Blackmon is coming back. He's entering a contract year. Are you going to re-sign him? Rodney Thomas II shows real promise to be able to take over that free safety spot should Julian Blackmon not return. And then Nick Cross. It's still a little bit of a question mark, even though the Colts traded up for him. Didn't produce much, but that was kind of to be expected, right? That was to be expected. The Colts were upfront about that early on in heading into training camp. Look, Nick Cross, we traded for him early. Probably would have been too high for us in the next draft, which would have been this one. So kind of redshirted him a little bit. So now you could look at safety, can look at more defensive line help. I'm not going to be mad about defensive line help. Like Jay, I'm not sure if Luke Wampier is going to make it to round 5. I just don't know. I like his projection at center. Although if he has the potential to kick out to guard, maybe you can do something there. But there's still other guys like at wide receiver. Let's go to wide receiver and look at the wide receivers.
Yeah, there's still your top guy who you really, really love. Tyler Scott is still available. There's Parker Washington out of Penn State. He's also a smaller dynamic guy. If this wide receiver prototype is truly changed for Ballard with McKenzie and with Downs, Parker Washington also fits this new kind of style we might be going to. I really like Andre Iosivas out of Princeton. He'd be a great older prototype that we had with this just athletic, big freak wide receiver. There's A.T. Perry. Keyshawn Boutte had a disappointing year, but he still has a lot of potential.
Xavier Hutchinson from Iowa State.
Mm-hmm. Puka Nacua from BYU. If we want to double dip with the BYU guys. Dontavian Wicks.
Got Rodney Bell from Michigan.
Yeah, Xavier Hutchinson from Iowa State.
Jaden Hazelwood is also a nice one from Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I should not be remiss about mentioning my guy in the 7th round, maybe Darius Davis, huh? But nah, if anything, I think he'll probably find a spot maybe as a kick returner, punt returner guy.
Go Justin Shorter out of Florida, reunite Anthony Richardson with one of his favorite collegiate targets.
So you guys in the comments section, I want to get y'all's opinion on this. I held this opinion early on in the process. I'm still kind of holding it today, especially with these more picks that we have. What about quarterback? Double dipping at quarterback. No, you're not bringing in competition against Anthony Richardson. No, you're not doing any of that. Sam Ehlinger is still here. Nick Foles is still here, okay? But I like the idea of getting another younger guy. The idea of bringing somebody along, having him go through training camp, go through preseason, get on the practice squad for maybe a year or two. And if at worst, he doesn't work out for you, oh well. At best, he turns into a really good backup for you. You need backup quarterbacks. You do. So going off some names here, you still got Tanner McKee out there. You still have Jaron Hall, Jake Hayner. You still got Baguette from Shepherd. I'm not sure if he's going to get drafted. You still got Clayton Tune from Houston, Max Duggan from TCU, Dorian Thompson-Robinson from UCLA, Aiden O'Connell, which could possibly be maybe a little bit of a favorite out of Purdue, maybe stay home. Stetson Bennett from Georgia, the 2-time national champion. And then Malik Cunningham is another guy out there. So what do y'all think in the comment section? Let us know. Let us know what we got going on. Do y'all want to double dip at quarterback? I want you guys to know. Let's get to the comments here. Let's go, Colts. What's up, fellas? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let's go, Jeremy Stone. All right. What about Utah linebacker Diabetes? What?
Diabetes.
Hold on. I feel like he misspelled the name. I think I know who he's talking about. Let me just get this thing going on. Ah, okay, yes. That's another linebacker, and that was another guy that Landon had in his final mock draft with the Colts. You know, a little bit of a rangy guy, kind of fits your prototypical Chris Ballard linebacker style. If there's anything, Chris Ballard likes those long linebackers. And he came from the University of Utah. They play high football there. They win Pac-12 championships, and they lose Rose Bowls. So I will take him. I will take him.
Yeah, and he also can go from linebacker to edge a little bit. He was used a bit as a blitzer and outside pass rusher at Florida when he was with them. So that could be a very interesting prospect if we want someone in a versatile role for Gus Bradley's defense, kind of like envisioning what Bruce Irvin was for the Seattle Seahawks defense when Gus Bradley was DC. He was doing a off-ball linebacker, but he was also the pass rusher for them too. So I could see him possibly developing into or having that kind of role. Maybe not immediately, of course, since we are pretty well stacked at linebacker right now with Leonard when he's healthy, Ziggy, and EJ Speed obviously would be ahead of Diabetes to start off. But hey, I wouldn't mind the pick. We could use another linebacker to add to that rotation just in case of injury.
All right. Going back to the board here. Trying to update it. That way we have an accurate board going forward. We can see what's going on here. Zavala Johnson is gone. All right. What do you think about Keandre Coburn?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have not seen a whole lot of Keandre Coburn to really have a great read on him. So I'll leave it to you to kind of explain how you feel about him,
Okay. Yeah. Defensive tackle out of Texas, was recruited highly. TCU was in on him. Was a fifth-year guy at Texas. Kind of had some, maybe like an injury or so, but really struggled to crack the rotation, kind of due to some coaching changes. I don't necessarily think their position coaches are really that good at Texas, but his fourth and fifth years, these last 2 years, he really started to pick up the production. You saw him get a little bit more aggressive in the middle. It was kind of a little bit tougher to run on Texas, not for Kendre Miller, but it was a little bit tough. If you go back to the Alabama game, Keandre Coburn had a nice, solid game against Alabama. He was solid. He could be an interesting name if the Colts want to double dip at defensive line. And again, I am not mad if you double dip at defensive line. I love it. Trying to see here. Still updating the board. Let's go back to some of these comments here. I just hope all of the positions we've drafted so far, but especially quarterback, turn out to be starters. Hey, due to Chris Ballard's past history and his lack of movement in free agency, there's a good chance of that happening. We're going to miss Yannick and Bobby. I don't think so. Well, Bobby, yes, but Yannick, not really.
I think Yannick was a good pass rusher, but of course that run defense was really, really bad. And he could have been a little bit more consistent with his pass rush. He did get 9.5 sacks for us, but it was kind of deceptive just because they came in bunches and he wasn't getting as consistent rush as we wanted. Ibukum is actually more of a consistent pass rusher in pressure rates. He just has never gotten the same sack numbers as Yannick Ngakoue. And then combine that with much better run defender, I don't think we're going to worry too much about losing him, plus with the development of Quiddy and Dio. Okereke, though, Really, really like him, of course, but we got plenty of linebackers right now. I think we have some guys to replace both of them on our roster already. Great players, though, and wish them the best going forward, though. So, Catfish and Bass, I hope we do draft top 10 in 2024. We need it. I would like that too, not going to lie. We don't have many expectations for this season. This is all about development. And if we pick top 10, either depending on how bad the season goes in terms of wins and losses, we could be in position to either get or trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr., which the wide receiver room would be absolutely complete with that. Just, but pipe dream, but a man can dream. Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I was just reading through these comments. DTR as a practice squad backup quarterback. I'm biased, but I prefer the mobile guys. Yeah, there's mobile guys in this draft, okay? Not just DTR, not just Malik Cunningham, but guys like Jake Hayner are mobile. Guys like Max Duggan are mobile. Guys like Stetson Bennett are mobile. Let's not just hone in on DTR, probably for obvious reasons, okay? Let's go to Max Duggan. Let's go to Stetson Bennett. Let's go to Jake Hayner. Those guys are mobile too. Let's bring Ryan Grigson into the war room and get an opinion on who to draft in the 5th. No, thank you. I wouldn't even let that man pick my damn bananas at HEB. Okay. Yeah, DTR, we're interested to see where he goes. I'm interested too. I'm still a fan of getting a young quarterback. Again, just want to keep some young guys in the room at all times. So I like that idea. It's kind of like, in the NBA, get a point guard or a guard and stash them in the D League or G League and let them play there a little bit. Stash a player. Real quick, I am going to disappear for a couple minutes. I will be right back. Hold it down, Jay.
All right, I'll hold it down for you, Mike. We'll see you when you can get back. But in the meantime, all right, let's get into this. We have a few picks flying off the board. Ooh, John Gaines goes to the Cardinals. That would have been a really nice interior offensive line player for us. I know a lot of Colts fans and analysts were hoping he was going to be one of our Colts picks, potentially in round 5, but he goes. Same with Carter Warren as a tackle. Braden Daniels as a tackle. Like, some offensive linemen are starting to go off the board. I'm glad we got Freeland while we did, but there still is some talent available at guard if we get someone there in round 5. We're at pick 123 right now with the Seahawks, and we're at pick 158, or 138. So 15 more picks. All right, let me know in the comments who you guys want to get, because in round 3, these picks are, or on day 3, these picks are flying. There's only 5 minutes per pick that each team is allowed. So let's hear what you guys want for the early round 5 picks that the Colts have. We got 2. One as the 3rd pick in the 5th round, and one is the 6th pick in the 5th round. So let me hear it. I want to know what your perspective is on this. Unfortunately, I can't highlight, the comments, so it won't be put up like down over here, but I will read them out. You will be recognized, and we'll talk through, see what everyone's ideas are. But in the meantime, let's look at the best players available right now. Like me and Mike were saying earlier, we could go a lot of different directions for this pick. I mean, we could continue to beef up this offensive line, either interior or outside. We could add more guys to this rotation and the defensive line. We could go wide receiver to really complete that unit with quite a bit of talent there. There's still plenty of corners if we want to add a 4th corner, because we need depth there even still. I love Isaiah Rodgers. Kenny Moore, I think, is due for a big bounce back year at nickel. And we like the Julius Brents pick. But you know what? We still need more depth there. No question about it. So I'd be down to take one here. But if we don't worry. There's still plenty of cornerbacks left in free agency that we could go for. Let's see. I'm going to check your comments right now. Luke, let's go. Jay, hey, thank you for the support, my man. Let's see. Ian, with all these guys dropping, this is panning out to be one of Ballard's best all-around drafts. I'm loving every minute of this, and I'll have to watch from work. You know what, Ian? Definitely watch from work. Don't let the boss see you. You know, he or she might get on your case, but maybe watch a little bit. Check out some highlights while you can, and get hype. You deserve it, man. Congratulations as a fan. Catfish and Bass. Tom Brady got selected in the 6th round. There still can be Hall of Famers left on the board. Agreed. There could be a Hall of Famer left on the board or even going undrafted. Those are a lot more rare, but it's still possible. I'm not going to hold you against that. So, again, I'm probably not going to write that whoever we pick in round 5, guarantee Hall of Famer. If I did, very bold, and I'd love to be correct, but odds are I wouldn't be. Just going to be honest. But hey, there is definitely talent on the board. I'm not going to dismiss that at all. Luke Verkamp. We know Marcus wants Tyler Scott. Man, he's been wanting Tyler Scott since like round 2, round 3. So Tyler Scott is his man. He absolutely loves him. He interviewed for the site a little bit. Great player, very good vertical threat. And he's familiar with Alec Pierce as former teammates at UC. Yeah, I'd be down for Tyler Scott. That would be a good fit for us. So he's my top wide receiver available right now. I'd be down for it. Let's see if he lasts there, though. We still got plenty of picks until then, and everyone could use a wide receiver at some point, I swear. But yeah, Catfish and Bass, he's really on the board. He really still is. I won't tell the other teams that. No, I'll be quiet. Tyler Scott's already been taken. Yeah, he's off the board. Go. But then Ian Kennedy, with the first 2 picks of our 5th round, I'd like to go Tyler Scott and Emil out of Alabama, the guard. Ooh, that would be nice. Emil, he has been battle tested at Alabama naturally. He'd be a really interesting interior offensive lineman for us to get. Personally, I know we'd have to wait. I've said it several times on this live, but I love me some Andrew Voorhees if he's there. There's Emil would also be really, really nice. There's the guy out of Michigan. I'm not going to attempt to say his name because I know I'm going to butcher it, but he was the Remington Award winner at center for Michigan. He would be really, really interesting. Mafi. I know there's some Notre Dame fans out here. Jarrett Patterson at some point would be really, really cool. So from the Fighting Irish, yeah, there's still some talent around. Heck, there's Luke Weipler still on the board, center from Ohio State. I really like that pick if we go there. Ooh, man, there's just so much talent that we're going to be able to add. And I think someone said it before, there's going to be a lot of contributors from this class. Maybe not all of them are going to be day 1 starters, but we're going to have a good mix of key rotational players early who can develop and turn into some high-level potential starters down the line. This draft isn't all about 2023. Some of these guys are going to make impacts this year, absolutely. But this draft is a lot about 2024, 2025, where we're going to see these guys step into larger roles because of other players maybe getting injured or not being re-signed or getting older and just naturally regressing. There's going to be opportunity for these young athletes to be very big impact guys in a couple of years. So let's be patient. Let's let some of these guys develop, of course. Enjoy some of the highlights, though, because they're going to have some really fun flashes. This is a highly athletic class, so I'm down for that. Let's see. Catfish and Bass. I say if wide receivers start going off the board, then we should trade up and steal Tyler Scott. Ooh, that would be nice if they start going off. We got the ammo to move up, no question about it. With 4 5th-round picks, 2 of them early, like we can get back into this 4th round. I agree, 110%. Let's see. Hmm. But yeah, going back on the Colts' current picks, yeah, what we've made so far today, Blake Freeland, it definitely seems like we went for the guy. He might not have been the top guy on our board overall, but looking at the board, there was just instantly a bunch of offensive linemen taken after him. Like it was the start of a run, really, because there's Saldiveri who's taken before him in the start of the draft and day 3. There was Jake Andrews, Anthony Bradford, immediately in the next 2 picks after ours. Dewan Jones went right after our second 1st-round pick, and of course Chandler Zavala, like, and City Sow, Braden Daniels, like Carter Warren. So many guys went in that offensive line to start round 4. So it makes sense that we'd go and prioritize that first, and then wait for a guy who might be higher on our boards, like Adebawore. So really, really interesting strategy. And hey, it worked out. I love the Adebawore pick at 110. Dang. Uh, Ian gave us a nice comment. Voorhees would be good too. I think he'd fall to later in the 5th either way. I don't really think there's a way to mess this up with how talent is falling. Keishon Butte wouldn't be bad either. I think he said would be bad either. I think he meant wouldn't. No matter, no problem. Oh yeah, he said wouldn't be bad. I mean, LOL. Yeah, I was about to say, Ian, you're just going off on like how you like Voorhees, and then all of a sudden, Keishon Butte would be bad. Nah, I know what you're going for. He'd be interesting. He regressed a bit last year. There's some injury concerns with him. He didn't have a great combine showing, which I know Ballard loves athletes. So I don't know if we'd go Keishon Butte per se. Nice rhymes. But Keishon, he'd be interesting. He'd be that guy who you take in round 5, think, okay, can we get this guy to where he was a few years ago when he was dominant? He was a phenomenal player. He'd be an interesting pick. I wouldn't hate it. I think there's some other wide receivers I'd rather have over Keishon Butte, but if they start flying off the board, I wouldn't be opposed to that in round 5. No question about it. Catfish and Bass. We have good players, but I still miss Osiris Torres. I agree. I love Osiris Torres too. He was my top guard in this draft, and he would have been a very good guaranteed pass protector and run blocker for Anthony Richardson, reuniting them from college. I would have liked the pick too. I was saying I would have hoped that he was there at 35. I felt like he would be a good pick there, but still moving back, still getting Julius Brents, getting this talent, and then later on getting a huge value in in Josh Downs. I don't think we can complain about that. We still have addressed offensive line with Blake Freeland, and we still can add more offensive linemen. So stay patient. It can be in this draft or it can be in free agency. There's still some interesting guys available who we could spend some money on. So I'd keep calm and carry on, baby. um, Ian Kennedy said I wouldn't be bad. Oh yeah, I got that one. Catfish and Bass. Guard has really been a need position, and fixing our guard would fix other positions within our O line. It would definitely help Braden Smith. He definitely feels like at times he had to cover for our right guards, whoever we had in there, depending on how our rotation was. He definitely kind of had some pressure on that. And same with Ryan Kelly in the interior, trying to help out multiple spots. I agree. Right guard is still a need, but I feel pretty good about Blake Freeland possibly being a guy to compete for that spot. Danny Pinter's probably going to stay inside, but then you got, I don't know, we got a few guys out there like Will Fries as well. He showed some flashes. He was not too bad. Maybe Wesley French steps up in year 2. There's still some options. Maybe not great, but there are some options. And we can still get some more guys in the draft. Ooh, quarterback just went off the board. The Saints picked Jake Haener out of Fresno State, Senior Bowl MVP this year. Ooh, I like that pick. I really liked Haener as one of my sleeper day 3 quarterbacks. 5th quarterback off the board. Sixth, because Herndon Hooker also went yesterday. So 6th quarterback off the board. I like it. Good pick by the Saints for a backup for Derek Carr. Ooh, Catfish and Bass. Ian Kelly said Jake Haener to the Saints. Yeah, crazy. Catfish and Bass. Speaking of Ryan Kelly, we should have cut him to free up some cap. I was speculating on that too. I would have been down for that. We could have freed up like around $8 million, and we could have spent that elsewhere. But at the same time, there wasn't by the time we were kind of like speculating that a little bit, there wasn't as much talent around. And I understand the wisdom of keeping him around at least for a little bit more, and then draft in like day 3 to try and see what Danny Pinter can do later on. It's good to keep depth right now. He doesn't cost too much. We're not looking to compete right now, so I'd keep him for one more year to see if he rebounds. Oh, and speaking of rebounds and coming back, look who's here. Michael is back, baby. How you doing, man?
Bro, did you see the latest update?
DeAndre Swift to the Eagles for draft compensation.
Another freaking Georgia player. Dude, what?
Okay, thank you, Georgia.
Dude, I respect it because you're getting the best talent from the best team in college football. But damn.
Jesus, man.
That is crazy, dude. This draft is popping off, honestly.
Good for DeAndre Swift, though, too. That is a great landing spot for him. Great offensive line, good offensive mind to utilize him. He'll be splitting time, though, with Miles Sanders. Or is Miles Sanders still there? Or did he get signed elsewhere?
I think I can't remember off the top of my head.
Might have gotten signed elsewhere.
All right. So here we got Luke. Let's go, Jay. Oh, okay. No Mike.
Now,
all right.
You said that once you were gone. You're like, all right. I went through most of these comments, though, just to let you know. But you can catch up a little bit.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
We know Marcus wants Tyler Scott. There you go. Trey Tucker's already off the board. The Saints traded up and got Jake Haener. Bro, the Chargers are taking Darius Davis.
Interesting.
I think it's a little early for Darius Davis, but
just a bit.
You're getting a speedster. Yeah, a bit. You're getting a speedster and possibly your return specialist. I'm hyped.
Ooh,
this is going to be, you know what, man? This is actually a great draft to show recruits. That's actually good.
Speaking of Georgia, guys, look at who the LA Rams picked.
Hey, Stetson Bennett. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's good. He's a player, man. He's a player. Oh, is the run on quarterbacks coming?
Yep. So does that mean like Jaron Hall is going off the board? DTR? Tanner McKee is still there.
Yep. See, people like hate on Stetson Bennett. I don't know why. The dude just makes plays, man.
Well, I know there's a little bit of off-the-field concerns with him as well that could have made him fall off the boards, but also people just don't like drafting older quarterbacks nowadays, you know? I think there's a little bit of trauma from the Brandon Weeden first-round pick by the Browns a few years ago.
Brandon Weeden was like 3 years older than Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, he was 27.
Yeah, he wasn't like – and plus Stetson Bennett, I think, is a better thrower, is smarter, much more athletic, can get out of the pocket, kind of like an Anthony Richardson. Yeah, there's so much to like with Stetson Bennett. That's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Rams, not the Chargers. All right.
Don't tell the other teams that Tyler Scott is still available.
Jake Haener to the Saints. Yeah, they need a young quarterback. They definitely do. That's going to be a good one. Speaking of Ryan Kelly, we should have cut him to free up cap space. Hey, I was a fan of it, but Chris Ballard says he's a great Colt, great person. So one more year wouldn't hurt anybody, right?
Yep.
DeAndre Swift to the Eagles, draft compensation. The Philadelphia Bulldogs. Luke says Swift got traded. Hopefully Bernard Ryman levels up this season at left guard. Absolutely. Showed some good promise. Well, now we know why the Lions took Gibbs.
Yeah.
That's still insane at number 12.
Still is early, but at the same time, it makes more sense that they were going to.
Okay, bro. Y'all ain't got to show these highlights now. Y'all really don't. I haven't even watched that game. I'm not ready for the highlights.
Repress it, man.
Gotta do that.
Get back to the comments instead.
Yeah, get back to the comments. You ain't got to put all that BS up there. Stetson Bennett to the Rams. Here comes Luke again. Luke, I want to hear your thoughts on Jahmyr Gibbs going freaking 12 to the Lions, dude. Give me your thoughts as the fantasy guru you are, man. That is insane. I still can't get over that. Sanders at Carolina. Oh, yeah. Luke says Miles Sanders signed with Carolina.
All right.
Another gadget from Frank Reich. I did some work and lived in Bulldog Land in Columbus, Georgia. They really love their team down there. Yeah, that's a passionate fan base down there. Namzik Bryan again is the next Tom Brady waiting to be picked. What if it was Stetson Bennett?
What if it was Jake Haener?
What if it was Jake Haener? What if it's Max Duggan? Who knows? The next Curtis Painter could be a pick away. Oh, not Curtis Painter.
Here's the good thing about Curtis Painter. He was so bad, he guaranteed us to get luck.
Yeah.
So maybe the guy who will be so bad it guarantees the Colts to get Arch Manning in a few years is coming up.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and update the board here a little bit. Man, Darius Davis to the Chargers. Going to team back up with Q. All right. Can do a little updating here.
Isaiah McGuire goes to the Browns. That's a good pick. I like him.
Still some corners on the board, man.
Yeah, the corners are not flying off so far, like outside of Clark Phillips. And yeah, I think Clark Phillips and Keely Ringo and Jacorian Bennett are the only ones who went off the board. And most of those were early. Now we're just in this stretch of no cornerbacks being taken, despite quite a few still really good ones on the board.
Yep. Updating the board here, guys. This is why I'm looking down in case any of you are wondering. Okay, he's gone.
Luke gave his reaction to Gibbs' his analysis. Based on the reaction in the war room, they love him. They think he's going to be good for fantasy as well. Good pair of Montgomery and Gibbs now. Yeah, I agree. That, I think, is an upgraded pair over what they had previously with Swift and Jamal Williams, who had a great year, no question about it. But Jahmyr Gibbs, phenomenal running back prospect. Like the only one you could even have a chance to compare to in this class to Bijan Robinson. Now, Bijan, of course, is number one and the consensus number one. But Jahmyr Gibbs was the closest one to him at 2. And in this very talented running back class, that says a lot. Still early, though, at 12. No question about it. He could have been had in the late first round, early second round, I think. But honestly, I'm not going to hold it too much against the Lions because they were able to get Brian Branch way later. Like, honestly, if you just swap the pick values of those, then it's hard to hate the players that they did get. So can't hate on the Lions too much. And I love the Lions and what they've been doing overall, like over the last few years. They're really rebuilding, rebounding, and finally getting back to being a potential playoff team, which we could use the Lions to – we can all kind of root for the Lions a little bit for that. Like, no one hates the Lions. They haven't done anything to anyone. So, yeah, root for the underdog.
All right, we are updated now. That's still insane. Like, I get it, but you couldn't go a receiver. You couldn't go a corner. You couldn't do anything. You drafted. That's my number one thing, man. If I was ever a GM, not a fantasy owner, a GM in actual football, My number one rule: do not spend first-round picks on running backs. Bijan Robinson is a little bit understandable in the Falcons case because you still got a young team, you're building talent, and you got a young quarterback, not a rookie, young quarterback trying to figure out who he is, give him a nice running back to dub it down to. I get all that, but Gibbs to Detroit still, man. That's the craziest pick of the draft to me. The biggest head scratcher. I don't feel like I'm off base. Am I? Am I that far off base by saying that?
I don't think you're off base. It was definitely one of the more surprising picks of the draft.
Running backs don't last. You shouldn't take them in the first round ever. I don't care if it's Emmitt Smith. I mean, it's a little bit different because Emmitt Smith's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, but it's different. It fluctuates.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a guy who you truly view as a special talent in round 1 at running back, yeah, you can take him. But usually in round 1, you're going to it would be wiser to take a guy at a more premium position. Just like Catfish and Bass said, they don't last days in NFL. And the era of the feature back is kind of at its end. There's still a handful out there, but now it's a huge amount of committees and 1-2 combos out there in running back land. So, yeah, you can afford to not have a star running back nowadays. You just get a couple of complimentary guys with skill sets. Boom, load up with them. You can have a really strong run game.
Jalen Duncan from Maryland is still there. Luke Wempler from Ohio State is still there as we're inching closer to the Colts picking. Henry Tuotuo, linebacker from Alabama, is still there. Noah Sewell, linebacker from Oregon, is still there. Xavier Hutchinson is still there. Darius Rush is still there. Kenny McIntosh is still there. And that was interesting. Bennett and Haener going above Tanner McKee. That's interesting. Maybe because of the mobility factor, maybe.
Personally, I had Haener over Tanner McKee, but
yeah,
I had them closely graded. So it's not too surprising, but I could see Haener going off the board in this late round 4, early round 5 stretch.
Yeah, man. Philadelphia is just loading up. They should be the favorite to come out of the NFC.
Again, easy. It's them or maybe the 49ers if they can get their quarterback situation figured out this year.
If Kyle Shanahan can finally freaking step up.
I mean, Shanahan can get them to the Super Bowl, but just always whenever they get to it, crash and burn, man. Jaguars, they go Tyler Lacey.
I saw that Tyler come on the board. I'm like,
ooh, Tyler who? Nope.
Right.
We're good.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick from Oklahoma State. That's good. That's good.
We're now in 131 for the Bengals, and we are on the board at 138.
Yep.
Getting right towards the end of round 4, beginning of round 5.
And the pick is in for Cincinnati now, but how fast are they going to announce this pick? Yeah. Look at that. Get the ball out quick. I mean, he hit Max when he already released the ball, but I remember that play. I was so pissed off that there wasn't a roughing the passer.
For Viliami Fehoko?
Huh?
Viliami Fehoko, they're showing him going to the Cowboys.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Jaguars pick.
Oh, Jaguars. Yeah, are you watching on ESPN or are you watching on like ABC or NFL Network?
I have no idea. Hold on. I think NFL Network. Yeah, NFL Network.
Ooh, Bengals go Charlie Jones, wide receiver out of Purdue.
Charlie Jones. Okay.
Interesting. Add to that wide receiver room. I like it.
Let's see if I can go to the actual ESPN coverage here. That's NFL draft. That's NFL. Here's ESPN. There we go. Charlie Jones, wide receiver, Purdue.
Oh, Ian said, if we steal Tyler Scott in the 5th without trading up, I'm locking this draft in as an A+. Honestly,
heck yeah.
Yeah, before this day started, I had the Colts draft from days 1 and 2 as an A-. So like a really, really good grade, but ooh, that Adebawore pick, it's definitely I think is going to push it to that A range. If we can get Tyler Scott or like Darius Rush with one of these fifth round picks, who just based off of my board, I think I have to give them an A plus at that point. Just
Yeah, this, I mean, the only questionable pick, maybe questionable, would be Blake Freeland, but there's upside there.
yeah.
And remember, the draft here on day 3 is all about upside. If you spend a second round or third round on Freeland, then it would be much more of a discussion. But here, you're getting potential, you're getting value. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, like I do slightly question the Brent's pick just because he wasn't the top rated corner on my board. But I also understand it because he's just probably at that point was the best fit for what they wanted. You know? So I had other guys like Cam Smith, for example, was higher on, but he was more of a smaller type cornerback comparatively. So Julius Brents just is the prototypical Gus Bradley corner. So I can't fault them too much for that.
Let's see here. It's time to take Tyler Scott before he gets taken. Hey, maybe they're looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie Jones just went off the board, so there could be a few more wide receivers going soon.
Antonio Johnson is still on the board. No, he's not.
Antonio Johnson?
Is he?
Yeah, he's still there from Texas A&M. Safety. JL Skinner, too, from Boise, if we want a safety.
Terrell Smith from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame. He's had his issues here there, but he's been really interesting. Jamie Robinson, too, from FSU. There's some solid safeties right here.
Man.
But the Steelers could have a safety need. They could be taking one right now.
Could be.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I wouldn't be shocked by them.
Now, when it comes to, oh my gosh, hurry up.
Oh, they go Nick Herbig, linebacker and edge out of Wisconsin. Interesting. Good pick. I had him going right around to your like round 4 range. He's a little later than what I thought, but still close.
Okay. So let's do it again. Let's go ahead and update it here a little bit.
Yep.
Tyler Lacey is gone. Charlie Jones is gone.
Ballard said that he tried for 30 minutes to trade up for Downs. Maybe he's trying again for Scott. Could be. I'm surprised no one over 30 minutes. Like I'm guessing that was like around like 5, 6, 7 picks or so.
Yeah,
he's trying to trade up for him, but he still couldn't get up. So
that was interesting. Maybe because he didn't want to, trade much.
Yeah, it could have been interesting to see what like the negotiations were for how much compensation that he would have needed to give up. But hey, he still got him no matter what, so can't complain. Catfish and Bass, how far away are the Colts from picking? The Bears are currently on the clock at pick 133. We pick at 138 and then 141. So barring a trade,
Tyler Scott's going to the Bears.
Damn. There he goes.
Yeah, I mean, going to the 5th round may have been a little bit suspect for him, but hey, he's going on, man.
Yeah, good for him. Ultimately, that he got drafted early day 3 at worst.
Yeah,
he still goes to Justin Fields and the Bears. There's some opportunities there, especially if they're shifting to more of a pass-heavy offense compared to what they did last year. But there are still some wide receivers out there on the board. No one I had quite.
Wait, what? Hold on.
What?
I think there's some conflicting report. No, I don't think there's anything conflicting about it.
I'm seeing it. Bears, Tyler Scott. It's on my TV.
Okay, I was about to say, what the heck? I think somebody was trying to say that was wrong.
No, it's right. I don't know who's saying that to you.
Darius Rush, man, is still
yes.
He's still there.
My guy, if we can somehow get him in round 5 A+ draft right there. Done. Wrap it up. Don't even need the rest of it. I mean, I still like the rest of it, not gonna lie, but still, put a bow on that class. Jeez.
Okay, Scott is now off the board.
There he goes. So who's the next wide receiver on your board? I'm curious.
Let me see here. Hold on, I gotta update this now. Okay. Get out of here. Okay. If I had to go next, man, it's either Trey Palmer or Xavier Hutchinson.
Trey Palmer or Xavier Hutchinson would be really, really nice. Ooh. Yeah, I mocked Xavier Hutchinson in one of my mocks. I think it was the first one. He'd be interesting.
A little bit of like a under the radar type of guy would be Bryce Ford Wheaton from West Virginia. Has some talent. Is real, can be really streaky, but just
freak athlete.
Yeah, maybe target him at the end of the 5th round.
Yeah, like he's a 9.9 RAS guy, like insane athlete, but very raw. So it definitely feels like that could be a Ballard pick as like a later round wide receiver.
Yeah. And you're still looking good here. If you want to go defense, maybe dip in at running back. Maybe get a Deuce Vaughn.
Maybe go offensive line. There still is some talent there too. You could go corner. You could go defensive line. You could go running back, like you said, with Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say these are like the last 2 picks that you can honestly expect to be like role players or contributors in like a rotation for year 1. I usually don't expect guys outside of like early parts of round 5 to do much early on, unless like injuries happen or they turn out to be like real special players. That rare after in the second half of round 5 and then getting into 6 and 7. So these 2 next picks should be the last 2 that I'd expect for something year 1.
Jarrett Patterson is still available, isn't he?
Yep, he's still there.
Yep.
If we want him for interior offensive line, Voorhees, Weipler, Emil, that I believe Luke said he would like.
Using one of these 5th on Voorhees, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
Get him in. Maybe he gets activated off IR around week 10 or something like that. Maybe. Or maybe just misses the entire year, but still, at least you get some type of.
Yeah, view him as kind of like a redshirt year, similar to what we did for Nick Cross last year.
Yeah.
Wait on him because he can be an absolute huge impact guard in the future. Ooh, Raiders traded up to 135. Ian is wondering, do they go QB?
Still got Darius Rush. I don't think Travius Hodges-Tomlinson is a Ballard guy. You got Eli Ricks from Alabama.
Ooh, Corey Trice from Purdue. He'd be interesting. Very good press corner.
Terrell Smith from Minnesota. Yes, Corey Trice, like you said, from Purdue. Tywan Mullen from Indiana.
I have him a little bit later on my board, like more of a round 6, round 7 guy. But I mean, I can't complain with a Indiana guy staying here in Indy.
Let's see here.
So yeah, Nomadic Brian is saying another cornerback, or maybe the Colts are done with wide receiver picks.
Who?
Yeah, Nomadic Brian.
Yeah,
he had 2 comments on that. I mean, we got 4 wide receivers who you can feel pretty confident in, like using regularly on offense. Though, like you said, Michael Pittman Jr. is in the last year of his deal, as is Isaiah McKenzie. So it makes sense to get a 5th wide receiver in there. Though I think they really want to keep Michael Pittman Jr., so don't expect him to be going off in free agency at this point.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I could see them going wide receiver, but corner still seems like it's the biggest need on defense right now in terms of guys who you could add to this rotation and have an immediate impact for a fourth corner.
Let's see here.
Catfish and Bass, I'm 100% down to double dip at Q cornerback. Extremely important, yeah. Jay Rena, I like us too. Mm-hmm. He also says we need to re-sign Pittman. Yeah.
Raiders are on the board with the last pick in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
5th round might be coming a little bit faster.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to see this Colts pick within the next 10, 15 minutes, I'd say.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Michael,
yeah.
Who do you think they're going to get with the first with their first pick in the 5th round?
Dude, I have no idea. I don't. I got to see who the Raiders take first. I have to see who they take first.
Well, we got 3 picks in between ours and there. Well, 3 picks after this. So
I'm going Darius Rush. I'm going Darius Rush all the way. Double dip at corner.
My man, I feel you right there. Please don't take him, Raiders. If you do, I will hate you forever. I will swear vengeance.
The Raiders are trading up to take Aiden O'Connell.
Oh, thank God. I was worried. They had a need at corner for sure.
Yeah.
So they go quarterback. Wow.
That's interesting. Still no Tanner McKee.
Mm-hmm. Still no Tanner. Still no T.I.
Okay. All right. So Darius Rush is still on this board here. I want to see if it happens.
We have the Jaguars and the Bills in between our picks.
So we're moving on to the 5th round now, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for those of you that don't know, we are covering the 4th and 5th rounds. I unfortunately have to dip after the 5th round. Adulting got some things we got to take care of for today, so got to get on the road there. But the 5th round, and there's a lot to cover, right? We got 4 picks, so we got plenty to cover here.
Yeah, we're going to be busy. These next 2 ones are going to be really quick. The 3rd overall pick in the 5th round and the 6th one. Then we got to wait a little bit till pick 162 and 176 right now if we keep those picks later on in the 5th. But then after that, we're done for the day. We only have 2 picks left in the 7th round. Michael, you got to get to adulting. I don't blame you for skipping the last 2 picks at that point. So, yeah.
I think – so I actually didn't know that. Antonio Johnson – I mean, do you really need a safety? Do you really need another safety? I think it wouldn't be a bad pick because Julian Blackmon does have a little bit of an injury history, starting to build up a little bit early in his career. You could use another safety. Antonio Johnson, pair that with Rodney Thomas, Nick Cross, a little bit more. It's going to be a really young safety room if you were to go Antonio Johnson. There's still Darius Rush, okay? I still think Andrew Voorhees is a good value pick. Not going to play his first year. Can come back in the 2nd year and get going. Trey Palmer, wide receiver from Nebraska. There's definitely things to like here. You're not in a bad spot. There's good things to like here. Christopher Smith, safety from Georgia. I mean, hey, let's get in on a Georgia player.
Jaguars, they go Yasir Abdullah, linebacker, Louisville.
Okay. All right, so we got one more pick ahead of us.
And it's the Bills. They could possibly go corner. I wouldn't rule that out for them, but please, I swear, if the Bills snipe my guy Darius Rush from me right before my pick again, I'll be upset. I will be in my feels for sure. Like, whoever we get could be a nice consolation prize. I won't lie, but still. Ooh, Buffalo Bills trade their pick to the Commanders.
Whoa. Oh, are they going Darius Rush?
Commanders, they could use cornerback too. That's definitely a need for them. They did get a corner early on in, I believe it was Deontay Banks, or no.
I'm nervous right now. I'm nervous for Darius Rush.
Was it? Oh, they went Forbes in round 1. But you can never use too many corners.
Yeah, it's a deep class.
Do not take him, Commanders. This would be one of the worst things you've done behind everything that Daniel Snyder has ever done.
Right. Come on.
The pick is in for the Commanders. Wow, they have 12 starting QBs since 2018, the Commanders.
That's rough.
And we say we have a lot of starting QBs since 2018, with like Luck, Brissett, Hoyer,
Rivers,
Freeman,
I think. No, I think it was 2017.
Yeah, Freeman was 2017 too. Rivers, then we went Wentz, then we went Ryan, Foles,
Ellinger,
Sam Ellinger. So we had 8, but they have had 12. Wow, that's crazy.
All right. Pick is in for the Commanders. The Colts. I think the Colts are on the clock now.
Catfish and Bass. Browns have had a lot of starting QBs, yeah. Especially, remember, like the early 2000s to like 2010s and everything. The giant jersey with all the QBs' names going down. Up until they got like Baker Mayfield. That kind of stabilized them a little bit.
I don't think the pick is going to be Darius Rush for the Commanders.
I hope not. I hope
not. But if he's on the board, let's go Darius Rush.
Yes, run it in. I wouldn't mind Voorhees. I wouldn't mind an interior offensive lineman since there are some good ones like Weipler and Emil. Corey Trice, I'm also a fan of.
And it's not the end of the world because you pick again 3 slots after.
Yeah, we still could get him. It's not the end of the world, but I want him with one of these 5. One of these early 5s. Come on.
All right, what is taking so long to get this pick in?
They could use interior line too, so they could go one of those guys that
they probably might be trading up for Luke Weimper here.
Yeah.
Commander selection. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. Here we go. Okay, how long is this going to be on the – Okay, they're going KJ Henry out of Clemson.
All right, good.
So Darius Rush is on the board. Some really good value picks right here wherever they go. Of course, we're going to want Darius Rush. All right, the Commanders go. Okay, what's your pick? Darius Rush?
Darius Rush,
my
guy.
I'll go Darius Rush too. What if they go quarterback?
I know we've been saying and speculating quarterback, and there has been a run recently at some point in day 3, but damn, get me Rush.
Yes, get Darius Rush.
We got him! Woo! That's my guy.
There we go. Double dip. Double dip.
And I'll give you an A+ in this class, Valor. And guess what they do? They get my guy. Oh, I love this. A+.
Let's go.
Grades like immediately. I can lock it in with an A+. Don't need the rest of the picks in round 5. We're in.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You're getting a physical corner guy who is also traitsy, but what you're getting with Brents and Rush, they're both dogs. Both dogs.
They got that Roddy in them. They got the dog. I love it.
I love it. There we go. Okay.
I saw him a little bit at South Carolina before this pre-draft process, and I was pretty impressed with him in coverage. But, man, he answered a lot of questions for me at the Senior Bowl in terms of his man coverage ability. He was mirroring and matching insanely well in the Senior Bowl. Like, he was shutting guys down on one-on-ones, which do not favor the cornerback at all in practice. You know? Wide receivers are able to run whatever double move route they want with all the space in the world. Corners are being put on an island one-on-one. And he was shutting guys down despite him not being known as a great man coverage corner. He answered some questions for me. Former wide receiver, new corner convert. But, man, he is a freak athlete too. This man is also similar size, like 6'3", 200 pounds. But unlike Julius Brents, he might not be quite as long, but he's still plenty long.
Converted receiver.
4.35.
Converted receiver as well. This is really good. This is really good. You're getting a young guy who needs some development, definitely needs some development, but you're adding youth at a position that he's going to be able to get snaps at.
That phenomenal depth at corner right now that we've added to develop behind Rodgers and Kenny Moore.
And hey, tell me if you've never heard this before. It's another Roz elite athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go over various Rush's Ross score. First off, overall, he graded out at 9.8. Come on now. Let's go. His composite size grade was great. You know, listed at 6'1". Composite speed grade considered elite. His 40-yard dash was a 4.3 for a corner. That's really good. 4.36 to be exact. Graded out on the 9 scale. 20-yard split, 2.5. Graded out on the 9 scale. 10-yard split, graded out on the 9 scale. I mean, you're getting another crazy athlete. Clayton Tune comes off the board, quarterback going to Arizona from Houston. That's another quarterback off the board. The Colts should be up after this next pick going down. Yeah. So Arizona went and got Clayton Tune. It's maybe an injury concern with Kyler Murray, but getting a young quarterback in the building helps. I like it, man. Good. I mean, I'm not reacting thinking he's going to be producing day one. No, there's going to be some hard times. There's going to be some bumps. But at the end of the day, man, this kid can play. And if he can develop, he's got Ron Miles as his teacher now. So
this is the biggest, like him and Adebawore are the biggest values of this draft for the Colts right now. And I love the Josh Downs value. But
yeah.
You know what I had Darius Rush ranked as my corner? Like he was ranked 39 overall on my big board. I had him as a solid round 2 guy. And we got him in round 5 at the top. Like, whew, that's phenomenal. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm taking my victory lap on Twitter right now. I don't care.
Now we're going to have a quick turnaround here.
Here we come. Who do you want the Colts to get next?
If I can tell you anything, it's going to be a high-level athlete.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My goodness. Looks like the Browns are actually taking Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Interesting.
Getting a young quarterback. So quarterback continues to fall off the board here. Now, if we look at the quarterback board, you're going to look and you're still going to see Tanner McKee, Jaron Hall, Max Duggan, Malik Cunningham. Those are really the big four that are left right now. Hoping somebody picks up my guy Max. All right, the Colts are on the clock. I mean, you know you're going to get another freak athlete, right?
For sure. All right, if we're looking at freak athletes, I could see if we double dip at wide receiver again, Andre Iosivas, wide receiver at Princeton, makes a lot of sense for that old school Ballard prototype. If we want more depth on the outside, we could go offensive lineman. You know, Voorhees is still on the board. That would be really, really fun.
Yeah.
The center out of Michigan could be cool. Mafi maybe from UCLA.
I'm not going to lie, man. This could be Chris Ballard's best freaking draft. It has the potential, all right? I think we all still think the best draft was his first one, Quentin Nelson, his second one, Quentin Nelson, Braden Smith, Darius Leonard. You got guys from that draft like Anthony Walker Jr., Grover Stewart. You got guys from that draft. Marlon Mack became a 1,000-yard rusher for you from that class. But this class has the makeup to be his best yet. We'll find out in the next 3 years, but damn.
That is a high bar. Ooh, the Colts traded back.
Oh!
So let's see. Where are the Vikings picking in round 5? And now where are the Colts?
I wonder if the Colts picked up an extra 6th.
They could.
Yeah.
They could. Vikings, their pick 158 was their nearest pick. So that's most likely where we're going back. So we might have a bit of a wait.
We might get another 5th from them then.
Yeah. Maybe another 5th this year or maybe next year. Do they have another 5th? No, they do not. They only have 1 5th. So we pick up 58 and maybe a future 5th.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, maybe a 6th this year. Who knows?
Yeah, build up some draft capital for next year too.
Hey, they got their guy at 138.
Yep. Trying to see if the package is out yet. All right, Colts trade pick to Minnesota for 158 and a 6th-round pick to 11.
All right.
So they get a 6th-round pick. So now they're going to have 13 selections in this draft.
Woo!
They now have a 6th-round pick.
Back. Honestly, I probably would have stayed there just because I still see some really good value right now. But I don't hate it. You can always get more picks, get more depth.
They're dropping back, 17 spots?
Yeah, to pick up an extra 6. Like that's a pretty balanced trade on the value chart, so I ain't going to hate it.
Maybe I would have preferred them ask for a future pick, but hey, what can you do?
Hey, do you know what was the last time we drafted a Darius from South Carolina? It worked out pretty well.
Something tells me, I don't know. Wasn't he some guy that went on to become an All-Pro?
Maybe, though I did hear from some people that he was the worst pick in the draft. I need to look it up, see how he turned out, you know?
Yeah. Might have to do our research. I don't know.
Yeah, you know me, always unprepared for the live. But hey, let's get into the comments. Let's see how everyone's reacting right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure. Let's see here. What's going on? Hold on. Bear with me. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, snap. I didn't even realize. Wow. My laptop was at 3%.
Oh, get the charge on, man.
Yeah. Wow.
That was scary.
That was scary. I didn't even realize that it came up in the corner of my screen and said low battery. I'm like, dang it.
Ooh.
And it was at 3%.
Ooh, you're safe. Ooh, Vikings with our pick go Jacqueline Roy.
Okay.
LSU.
Let's get to the comments. Rappaport said O'Connell's release is like Brady's. Oh my Jesus. We really got to stop. We really got to stop comparing guys to Hall of Famers.
Especially in round 5.
Oh, look at Luke over here talking about fantasy. I normally drop defenses in my dynasty leagues for the offseason, but held onto the Eagles this year, so I've been happy about their picks. Yeah, I bet you have.
Yeah. This is
all right. Browns have a lot of starting quarterbacks. Oh my goodness. But only one of them has $250 million guaranteed. Nailed it. Yeah. Here's the. Yeah, look at this one. You're eating your words now, huh? Ballard is not Grigson. Yeah. Eating your words now, Catfish and Bass.
Ballard is bowed down to everyone. Humanity restored for Catfish and Bass.
Darius Rush is now a Colt, man. I love that pick. He just plays with an attitude, and that's what you need in the AFC when you're going to be going up against stars and other guys that played with attitude, like a Jamar Chase, a Sky Moore, other guys like a Stephon Diggs. You need it. So I like the projection. Let's see what he is in the next 3 years, and we can really grade these picks, man. Let's go back. Let's move on here. Rush looks good. Watching highlights of him against Levis, driving Levis crazy. Possibly we'll be doing it again in the future Titans game. That is correct. Lawrence versus Stroud versus Richardson versus Levis is insane. Yes, I know. The AFC South. And say the AFC South can be insane.
Yeah. It's going to be the big development QB division, Like Trevor Lawrence has already shown that he could be a potential top 10 quarterback in this league. And then all these other guys, like we know Richardson has sky high potential. Levis, to his credit, even though he's fallen, he has crazy high potential if they develop him right. I got my doubts if they do that, though. But, there's still that potential. We can't discount that. And then, of course, CJ Stroud being one of the safest picks in this QB class. He's most likely going to be a very good instant impact QB for the Texans. Like, the growth from this quarterback class is going to be so huge for this division. And they're going to be compared to each other constantly. No doubt about it. I think that's going to get some sore feelings for whoever kind of struggles early on. There's always going to be this comparison of, oh, this guy's doing much better over here. But every team, every situation, how guys react to different environments is completely different, So stay patient. We might not have the best of these quarterbacks immediately, but we all have to stay patient. And remember, it's a multi-year evaluation for all these prospects, but especially quarterback.
Yes. And even just getting back with it. So you got Isaiah Rodgers, and really after him, Kenny Moore, you assume, is still going to be in the slot, right? So he's still going to be in the slot for you guys. Gus Bradley's going to try and figure out something to do with Kenny. Kenny has one more year on his deal. I think we all expect for him to walk after this season. But getting 2 young guys in the room, man, I really love going with 2 young guys rather than going and get 2 free agents or a young guy and a free agent, especially at a position like corner where it probably requires the best athlete to play. You have to be one insane athlete to be playing corner. You got to also have instincts. You got to be really smart, intelligent. And getting a guy like Julius Brents, you get both. With Darius Rush, you get attitude, meanness, and he can come in, probably provide some 2 snaps, with the 2s, come in for rotational reasons. I assume the Colts might bring in a vet corner just to help, further help the young guys like Brents and a Rush. So I'm curious with that. But I love the fact that they double dip that corner, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is good. The Colts have executed 3 trades in this draft. They came in with 8 selections. Now they're about to walk out with 13, barring more trades. And Chris Ballard says, I like them picks in that range true today. And I love that, dude. You get a team. Think about it for a minute. You get a team that goes 4-12-1. You have money spread out. You made these trades. You made these signings. And now you sit here and say, well, I can't bring all of this back. You can't, can you? After a 4-12-1 year. So we're not going to rebuild, but we're also going to reset. Let's get the quarterback done. Let's grow at corner done. Brents, Rush. Let's start developing. Let's get a deep shot wide out. Josh Downs. How was he there at 79? We still don't know. You get offensive line depth with Blake Freeland. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I can't say enough about it, what Chris Ballard has done in this draft. Again, I'm still hampering my expectations. We're not winning anything next year, but it is going to be fun watching these young guys. What about you, Jay? Is it going to be fun? Right now, what are you thinking for 2023?
For 2023, remember, this is a draft that it's all about the future development for these young guys. Not all of them are going to be starters. I'd expect Richardson to be a starter at some point in year 1. But, of course, we all know he needs development. Brents and Rush are going to be competing for that cornerback 3 job, and either of them could win and have big snap counts. And whoever loses that is still going to be the cornerback 4 in a division that's more and more spread out now. They're good. Both of them, I think, are going to get very good amount of snaps for the team. Josh Downs as the wide receiver 3, phenomenal role there as our new slot guy to kind of replace Paris Campbell. And he might rotate a little bit with McKenzie, but still, I'd say he's the favorite for that job. Blake Freeland as a swing tackle, maybe he competes at right guard. Like, there's a scenario where if you consider wide receiver 3 and cornerback 3 as starters, and you also have Blake Freeland maybe kicks in at right guard, or he goes at right tackle and Ryman stays goes to right guard, then we have a scenario where we got like 4 different starters in the first 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And then the only non-starter would be whoever loses between Brents and Rush.
Yeah.
Like, geez.
And I like it.
Legit scenario that could happen. I'm more leaning to it being more so like 3 or so starters, just because I don't know how I feel about Freeland winning a starting job. He's most likely going to be rotational.
Mm-hmm.
But still, phenomenal instant impact as well. And then they will grow and continue to get better long-term with this high athletic upside. Oh, I love this draft.
If you look at it, Catfish and Bass says, I'm eating my words. I admit it. Hey, we need an apology. Not just eating your words. We need an apology for Chris Ballard, okay? The world was ending because he didn't take a freaking guard. Look, come on. We need an apology. Straight up. But one thing I will say about Chris Ballard, and we kind of lose sight of this offseason, especially with all the quarterback talk and a little bit more activity in free agency. we kind of forget this a little bit. Chris Ballard is not off the hook. He's not off the hook. He's still responsible for a 4-12-1 season. That's still on his resume. That's still on his chain. He still wears that. And he's still on the hot seat. I believe he's on the hot seat. Free agency went fine. This draft is going crazy right now, on paper, of course, and we love it. So when we get to the season, remember, Chris Ballard is still not off the hook. But this is what I like about Chris Ballard. And we all thought, is he ever going to get aggressive? Is there a time that he will get aggressive? And when is that time and situation that he will? What will it be? Well, his ass is to the fire now. And guess what? He upgrades that edge rusher, Samson Ebukam, over Yannick Ngakoue, spends less money on him than he would have on Yannick, and Yannick gives you less. So you let Paris Campbell walk, still a lot of unproven ability with him. You get Isaiah McKenzie, a little bit more proven stuff, add some special team value, struggles with some drops a little bit, but again, it's a one-year deal, no risk. Then you go into the draft. You get your young stud, you get young players at premium positions. He's not drafting guard, he's not drafting linebacker, he's not drafting safety. What does he do in the first 3 rounds? Quarterback, corner, receiver. We've said it. You're not beating Patrick Mahomes just because you have an all-pro in Quentin Nelson, just because you have an all-pro in Shaquille Leonard. That's not how you beat Patrick Mahomes. You beat Patrick Mahomes because you have somebody on the other side that can counter his moves. That's how you do it. And that's, so far, Ballard is laying the groundwork for that to potentially come. Could you imagine Voorhees at 158 after trading back, says Luke Verkamp, our photographer? I think that's got to be the pick. No, he's not going to play year one, but still, this guy agree with me. Luke, if you're still here, agree with me here. This guy was going to be a top 50 pick if he didn't tore his ACL. And if we could get him at 158, he recovers year one and comes back. Oh my goodness. We're in the catbird seat.
Yeah, that man had an amazing pass protection profile. And combine that with him being possibly the strongest interior offensive lineman in this entire class. Dude, he put up, I know some people like that bench press is not the greatest indicator for just strength on the football field. But this man put up 38 or 40 bench reps after tearing his ACL. He couldn't use his feet to really, as well as he could have to base his benches. And he was still racking up high 30s, low 40s on the bench press. Insane. And plus, on top of being strong, the dude has the speed and agility before the injury to get out in space and maul people upfield and to side while he's pulling.
Yeah.
I love me some Voorhees. And he's coming after them like it's a horror movie, destroying defensive linemen. We love Voorhees if we can get him at 158. Ooh, we just got to be patient. But that would be a phenomenal pick.
My brother had a question right here. Could Duggan go undrafted? I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. One great season after 3 pretty horrible seasons I don't think it's good enough for you to be a 4th-round pick. Again, he was a Heisman runner-up, so higher than C.J. Stroud, of course. But hey, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best for Max, for D, for Trey. Once we get in the 6th round and they're still not there, I may get a little bit nervous. But those are guys that have earned their way into the league, and they deserve a shot. So as a TCU fan, I'll be watching out for that. Question for both Michael and Jay. Does this draft get Ballard an extension? No. You don't get extensions. Yeah, you don't get extensions on drafts. You get extensions on wins. That's how it's got to be. We got to keep it reality here. We got to keep the standard high. Just because you draft well does not mean, oh, hey, you know what? Jim Irsay, when we get to training camp, here's a 2-year extension on top of your 4-year extension I gave you in 2021. No. Wins have to matter, and Chris Ballard has not won in the last 2-3 years, so they have to matter. So I don't think the extension is coming. What about you, Jay?
Well, I'm looking up his contract right now. He is under contract through the 2026 season. Like, he didn't need a extension. So,
Yep.
like this draft wouldn't have gotten him an extension if he aced it. It could have possibly gotten him fired if he failed it. But at the same time, you don't really know if a guy fails the draft until a year, 2, 3 even afterwards. Like, remember, in Ballard's best draft that he has had, which was consensusly the 2018 draft, people were ripping him to shreds beforehand. You know, the Shaquille Leonard pick was hailed as the worst pick in the draft. They got Quentin Nelson, which was an obvious need at guard to kind of help out on the offensive line for Andrew Luck. But everyone was like, you still got a guard in the top 6. How dare you with positional value? Some people were questioning getting another guard in Braden Smith, and then turns out he turns into a right tackle and a top 10 one at that.
Yep.
Like, people were ripping into him for not going these premium positions early and then waiting until like a while to get Tyquan Lewis and Kamoko Toure at pass rush, getting 2 running backs. Like, they didn't get any wide receivers until round 5. People were giving Ballard so much crap for this draft, and then all of a sudden he gets 2 all-pros. He gets 2 great rotational backs and like change of pace guys. He gets a starting level top 10 tackle. And now we can proclaim, and we also got at the very end of that draft, Matt Adams and then what became Zaire Franklin. Like, that's an A-plus draft now looking back at it. But at the time, people were absolutely ripping to shreds on that. And we can do the same thing in reverse here. This right now, we absolutely love this draft, but it also could go a very different direction because of anything, injuries, suspensions, new coach, different scheme fits. Like, anything can happen. Right now, I absolutely love this draft, but it can go up or down throughout the years. So we got to be patient, of course, but Ballard wasn't going to get fired right after this draft.
Yeah.
And he was going to get an extension.
Yeah, I agree. Here we go, Catfish and Bass. I apologize to Chris Ballard for comparing him to the absolute garbage that was Ryan Grigson era. Thank you. Thank you. We all have to apologize for it sometimes. We got to admit when we were wrong. I was dead wrong about Matt Ryan and his fit in Indianapolis, and it cost us. And the reward was the 4th overall pick. At least we got Anthony Richardson. I could say I saw into the future and said, yes, he will cost us a season and we can get Anthony Richardson. So, but I'm not going to play that card. But yeah, look, I get it. But again, you still got 4 formidable options on the offensive line. It's not bad. Ryman has promise, showed real good stuff. Nelson, another offseason of no surgery, no rehab, get healthy. Ryan Kelly, can he get the cobwebs out? Can he get back to his old self? Braden Smith started out bad in the first half of the season, got better around game 7, 8, somewhere around there, and started getting better. So we're okay. We're okay. So I get it. I get it. And again, our guy Luke talking about Andrew Voorhees there. The draft is still going on. The latest player, Jordan Hoden from Minnesota, going to the New Orleans Saints. That's a good little safety right there for New Orleans. New Orleans having kind of a really, really good draft right now. They got a young quarterback in Jake Hayner. Obviously got Kendre Miller. So they're looking solid. And then you look at earlier in the other draft, not the other draft, but
Antonio Mafi goes to the Patriots. There goes an interior offensive lineman. I like.
Yeah, I feel like offensive lineman is starting to run out now.
Yeah, Josh Wiley goes to the Titans. Tight end from Cincinnati. He
went to the Titans.
Yeah, he went to the Titans.
Dang, I liked him. I liked him from Cincinnati.
I like that for them. But let me check out the interior offensive lineman. I know that's one of the big concerns still.
That Michigan center is still out there, right?
Yep, the Michigan center, Luke Weipler, Emil from Bama, he's still there. And, of course, our Notre Dame fans, Jarrett Patterson is still there. So there's options, maybe not the high-end guys that we might have been hoping for earlier on, but there's still some good guys to get in the interior offensive line. And, of course, let's check out tackles as well, just in case we think, ooh, Jalen Duncan is still available.
Yeah, from Maryland, yeah.
That's surprising. There's also Jackson Kirkland. He's a tackle, but he shifts to guard a little bit at pro. Richard Gurridge from Florida. He'd be interesting. Warren McCoy.
Hey, don't look now, but there are still some really good running backs left on this board.
Let me check out. I'll look. There's Zach Evans. There's Eric Gray, friend of the show.
Yep.
Keaton Mitchell. I really like him as a change of pace guy. Evan Hull, Dwayne McBride, Chase Brown would be very fun. Sean Tucker, Kenny McIntosh, Deuce
Muhammad Ibrahim, Deuce Vaughn, yeah.
Chris Rodriguez. There's some pretty solid running backs.
I would be a Zach Evans type of guy. I know he kind of, left TCU in kind of an ugly way, but I can forgive him. And that's crazy.
Ooh, Bears get Noah Sewell.
2 years ago, Kendre Miller was the backup to Zach Evans. Zach Evans transfers to the bigger and better program that is Ole Miss, and his backup gets drafted ahead of him. That's insane. That's insane. I'm not trying to throw a shot or anything. I'm just stating facts. That's insane.
All right, so who do you think is going to be the TCU player who goes round 5? I know there's been a TCU guy each of the last 4 rounds.
Hold on.
Who's going round 5 at TCU?
Jay, look at the screen. You should hear the conversations my brother and I have, and he's bringing this nonsense to the stream.
Carlos, dishonor on you. Dishonor on your family. Dishonor on your cow for that take. Nope. And I'll move on. I'll move on. Michael, he's going to have some words for you, Carlos. He's going to be sending you some interesting texts after this, but dang. Yeah. Take a minute there.
Hey, it is, yeah. Someone in our family got the brains and someone didn't, so goodness gracious.
I don't know.
Now that Brian is back, Jim Irsay can chill again, start looking for the next guitar in the collection. Have peace of mind. Ballard is on it. Yes, Jim, go to Nashville, go to Australia, stay away from the Colts organization, go find boxing gloves to bid on, go find guitars to buy, go live your dang life. This man over here dyeing his dang hair for the draft. Oh my Jesus. Respectfully, I would like to not have another year the way the year we just had, okay? I would like to not have that.
But this year's all about development, so don't be expecting anything like crazy. I think we're going to hover close to around 500.
Yeah, I think we might be in store for maybe 5-6 wins because this is a tough schedule we got.
Yeah, so I think a 1-game improvement, 2 games, maybe 3. I'd say that 5 to 7 win range is pretty realistic. If we get to 8 wins and we're just under 500, I'll take that. That's a really good year for a young roster that we're looking to develop. But anything more than that might start getting a little bit more unrealistic and a little bit more in the dreamland. But hey, I won't tell a fan not to dream. Just try and keep a level of realism.
Yeah. So the Colts are up again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're up again here in 9 picks.
Sean Clifford just went.
Yeah, Sean Clifford just went. And that's interesting. Another quarterback that goes before Malik Cunningham, Tanner McKee, Max Duggan. That's interesting, man.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson went shortly after our last pick.
Yeah.
Covered that, but there goes GTR. Yeah, there's still some QBs if we want to double dip at quarterback and get.
Hey, man, you taking running back?
At this point, I might take a running back. I know we got occasionally like a few other needs. I'd prefer Voorhees or Weil or the guy from Michigan, but like I wouldn't hate a running back pick. I think there's definitely value there on my big board. So hey, at this point, they already got an A+ draft. Anything else we get is just icing on the cake.
Yeah. Oh man, got 9 picks here. Bill's pick is in.
Yeah, we got picks at 158 and 162.
If we took a running back, my dream pick may be surprising, but my dream pick would be Zach Evans. My second dream pick would be Deuce Vaughn.
Nice.
Now, with it, when it comes to number 2, my 1A, or basically my 1 is Zach Evans, but my 1B is Deuce Vaughn. My 2A is Deuce Vaughn. 2B is going to be Muhammad Ibrahim.
I also really like Chase Brown as like a big home run hitter that we can use as a change of pace back. But I agree. Zach Evans is my top running back on my board. Ooh, Bills go with one of Anthony Richardson's favorite receivers at Florida, Justin Shorter. And despite his name, he's 6'3". He ain't shorter.
Okay. I was about to say. The graphic that I was looking at, it displayed his yards, but it didn't display his dang name or position. So
yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, so it came in now, Justin Shorter. Okay.
Yeah. Some technical difficulties there.
That's okay. That's okay.
One of my sleeper running backs got picked by the Jets earlier in the 5th round, Israel Abakanda. I really liked him. But, hey, good pick by the Jets. Get someone to help out Aaron Rodgers in the run game.
I'm still deciding, Do
you want a running back for value, or do you want interior offensive line?
In terms of talent, man, I would take a running back. I mean, Jonathan Taylor experienced some injury concerns, had some fumble concerns. Zach Moss came in, but I mean, dude, I'm not taking his game against the freaking last place Texans as something to give him running back to.
Deion Jackson.
Still got young guys, Devontae Price, CJ Verdell that are still there. I just think in terms of talent-wise, I think Zach Evans is the best. Due to character concerns, the reason why he's sliding, I believe, is due to some character concerns mixed in with, he had some stuff going on in high school, which some teams pulled their scholarships, which made him end up at TCU. They took a chance on him. He had an injury in 2021. He decided, okay, Gary Patterson got fired. Ole Miss was tampering with Zach Evans, offering him money. He could have came back. He decided to sit it out. He just decided not to come back. So character concerns there. I don't know. I don't know if Zach is going to get drafted because of that. I mean, he got suspended before his state championship game. So it sucks because he played on Katy and they were a powerhouse. He was the best running back. He was probably a top 3 running back in the country and did something stupid, got suspended before the biggest game of his life. And I wonder if that's going on here. Other running backs here. Let's go to other running backs. Kenny McIntosh is another one from Georgia. I really like. He can run it. He can also catch out of the backfield. Runs hard, runs aggressive. He was someone I studied extensively ahead of the national championship game. This dude can do it all, man. He can run the ball, catch the ball out of the backfield. He's definitely a name that I'm curious to see if the Colts want to go in that route of running back. I don't know if they will, but with all this talent, how can you not? See here. Yikes. Catfish and Bass. I see us getting 4 wins. Hey, Whatever gets us Brock Bowers or Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. If we have a terrible year, we can still win big later on.
Yeah, dude, next year, the two guys I'm only thinking about is Brock Bowers or Marvin Harrison Jr. If Jelani Woods doesn't really show much, my laser focus is on Brock Bowers.
Oh, yeah.
Down to take a running back. We have a lot of picks, and JT is sadly outside of his prime. I ain't going to say all that now. I'm not going that far. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not going to say he's out of his prime. No, I think he's got a couple. I would say JT has 3 more elite years left. I would say 3 more.
You might have a few other years of being a pretty good running back, but maybe not quite at that same elite level.
Yeah.
All that needs to happen is he just needs to stay healthy. I mean, the guy got 1,000 yards total last year in like about 10 games played, and behind the offensive line, who early on when he was playing was looking absolutely terrible. Like, let's not be saying like he's done and over the hill.
Yeah, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there was pause for concern when he had 5 fumbles, 3 of them being at very costly areas of the game, costing us the game kind of. But still, like he missed his first practice in all of his football career, including high school, college. Imagine how many practices that is. And it took till his 3rd year in the NFL to finally miss a practice. It's insane. Nah, we can't be getting crazy like that now. Let's go to Luke. Waiting for a late round linebacker linebacker. Linebacker is still an underrated need. That kid from Utah is still there. Got some good ones still sitting here. Got Jack Campbell still on the board?
Is Jack Campbell? I'm looking on my board.
I'm not.
I think
I'm not tripping, am I?
Went.
He went?
I think he went. Yeah. I think he went in like 2nd round.
Okay. Henry 202?
No, actually, he went round 1 to the Lions.
Okay.
Yeah, so Henry 2020, Owen Papo, Ivan Pace Jr. from Cincinnati is interesting. A lot of people like Cam Jones out of Indiana. I've seen him mocked to us a lot.
Ivan Pace Jr. from Cincinnati is kind of prototypical Ballard linebacker.
He is kind of prototypical in terms of like the range and the explosiveness and the speed. Though he is a bit shorter and not as long armed, so he doesn't quite fit all the measurables there. But I mean, he fits stylistically with what we want. So I could see him overlooking the short arms for that. Yeah, him or Papo would be phenomenal. I'd love that.
Who's Henry Papo?
Owen Papo, linebacker Auburn.
Yeah.
Too.
You got Mikael Jones from Syracuse.
Antonio Johnson is still there.
Yeah. Aubrey Miller Jr. from Jackson State. That's an underrated one right there.
Yeah.
Aubrey Miller from Jackson State.
Yeah, he's showed out at Jackson State. Absolutely. A.T. Perry is still on the board, too.
Yeah.
Parker Washington, too. Jalen Duncan at tackle would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's try and get an update, see where we're at in this range here.
Ooh, Trey Palmer, too. I forgot.
Yeah. Out of Nebraska, yes.
Yeah. Great deep threat. Surprisingly good route runner in the Senior Bowl.
Okay. Colts are 5 picks away. 5 picks away. We're in the middle of the 5th round, guys. Thank you again to everybody who is watching. We will be wrapping up this stream after the 5th round. Again, you can also follow along on the Blue Stable. We're going to be announcing all those picks and everything. Shout out to our guys that are working behind the scenes. Guys like Luke, Noah, Rhett, guys who are working on all this stuff to make all this stuff, be the engine to our car that runs so well. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to our writers, guys like Jack, like Landon, like Jay, for their coverage on the draft. Shout out to guys like Marcus, Johnny, who have helped put together a great staff here at the Blue Stable. We appreciate all of your guys' support of our writers, of our show, of our website, regardless of where you guys get your news. We just want to thank every single one of you. And again, I just want to express gratitude to every single one as we still got, I think, 2 more picks, right? In the 5th?
We got 3 more picks in the 5th.
3 picks in the 5th.
Very end of the 5th.
Man.
So, yeah, we might go a little bit after round 5 just because, like, we'll have to talk about some of these picks after they happen. But
yeah,
at the early part of round 6, we're out of here.
Yeah. So with okay, San Francisco 49ers pick is in. The 5th round was always going to be intriguing to me because that's always an area where you can get really good picks that really hit early on. And you have 4 of those picks in this round. So you trade back and you get a 6th round pick. I'm interested at 158. I think even though I like the idea of a running back, maybe a quarterback in round 6 or 7, maybe one of those guys. I'm still kind of. Did Michigan just take a fullback?
No, there was
not Michigan. San Francisco.
I'm not seeing an update.
Oh no, they took the center.
Yeah, Seahawks took the center from Michigan.
They did. Okay, and the 49ers pick is in. Okay, yeah. Oh man, that's another good pick for them.
Yeah, that's good.
So, man, so we're about.
We are 3 picks away from our pick. So there's 49ers, the Chargers, and then the Ravens, and then us.
Andrew Voorhees is still on the board.
And then after that, there's the Packers, the Jags, the Rams, and then us again. So we got 2 picks coming up really, really close, and then we wait until the second to last pick of the 5th round. So, any predictions for who the Colts are going to go at 158?
If anything, I would probably say offensive line. In terms of just value, I'll stick with Andrew Voorhees for right now. Antonio Johnson is a wild card here. Luke Wampler is still there. We'll see what these next 2 picks are going to be ahead of the Colts. But I think that's where I'm going to sit. Either Antonio Johnson, Luke Wampler. I just mentioned his name. Andrew Voorhees.
Andrew Voorhees, yeah. Another sleeper, though, would be also Jalen Duncan if they think Blake Freeman is going to be more of an interior guy and they want to further address tackle. They could go Duncan out of Maryland. I would not be shocked by that. But, yeah, there's plenty of offensive line talent still on the board for those who really wanted Ballard to address that. We got 3 picks in the 5th round, 2 coming up real quick. We could really add to the trenches depth and competition right here. Or, like you said, there's that value at running back. Just so many talented running backs that getting one in the 5th right here could be a really good steal. But also, Luke said, we're waiting for the late round linebacker too. There's also Antonio Johnson, the safety, is still available. He'd be interesting. You can go so many different directions here. We could go quarterback if we want some competition in depth. Chargers, they go Jordan McFadden, guard out of Clemson.
Okay.
Another offensive lineman off the board, but wasn't quite on our list that we just listed off. So, not the top guy that the Colts might have been looking at. But he had some good tape for sure.
Okay. 1 more pick ahead of us.
Come on. I'm just going to tweet out, give us Andrew Voorhees, and I'll make it an S one because last time I tweeted out, give us Darius Rush, and I'll give this class an A+. Now we're going to up it to an S.
Okay. So a few picks went by, went ahead and updated the board. You still got a good safety there. Christopher Smith, the second out of Georgia. Still got Luke Wampler. If you wanted to go linebacker, you got Henry Tuotuo. Kenny McIntosh, running back. Xavier Hutchinson is still there. You can go many different ways, man. You really can. Trey Palmer, I feel like Trey Palmer is another really good sneaky pick right here.
Yeah, I really like Trey Palmer. I know Zach Hicks is a big fan of Palmer too. So great deep threat for us to possibly add.
Yeah. Man, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if they're going to take a wide receiver, but I wouldn't be mad at taking Trey Palmer. Again, I'm never going to be mad about putting weapons around your young quarterback. Yeah, he's fallen. Andrew Voorhees is fallen.
And
So it's interesting which team is going to pull the trigger.
It makes sense why, with such a late injury and a devastating injury like a ACL right at the combine.
Yeah. And also some teams want to win now. But a team like the Colts, they can probably afford to take a player right here because they know this next year isn't really going to be much. So they can go through an evaluation year. And guess what? Like the old cliche GMs say, oh, it'll be like getting a free agent. Like, you can always look at it that way too. Colts still have 3 picks. Man, that Noah Sewell pick was really good for Chicago. The Packers drafted Sean Clifford. Do you think Jordan Love is upset now?
Yeah, he might be a little upset.
How dare they?
How dare they draft a quarterback in the same year as my first full starting season? I need more weapons, damn it.
Yep.
Ooh, but yeah, let's see. All right, do you want to know when was the last elite RAS pick that the Colts made?
I think it was the kid out of Penn State, Robert Windsor.
No. There's one ahead of him, or more recently than him. But
Okay.
Will Fries technically counts as elite because he was 8.5.
Okay.
He's the only sub 9-1 besides Josh Down at 8.99. But yeah, it's Sam Ellinger in 2021's draft with a 6.82 at quarterback.
Okay.
6th round. Like, that's the most recent non-elite RAS athlete we've had.
Okay.
And he's still pretty good. Ooh.
Colts still have 3 picks here.
Ooh, Ravens go Q Blue Kelly. Cornerback at Stanford.
Oh. So after this, once the Colts make their selection, they will pick again in 4 spots.
So yeah, what do you think they should stack in the next 2 picks then? Like, we're hoping for Voorhees now that the Baltimore Ravens are done. So it's our pick now, and the pick is in. What do you want the Colts to get after that, potentially?
What if they get a 3rd corner, Corey Trice?
Corey Trice would be awesome. Oh my gosh, we just stack this cornerback group with so many good, physical, long, athletic cornerbacks that fit Gus Bradley's mold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That would be – you can never have too many corners or wide receivers, really, or pass rushers. So I'd take Corey Trice. I wouldn't be mad about that.
Okay, the Colts are going to take Daniel Scott, safety out of California.
Not bad. Like, I had other safeties higher than him.
I had Christopher Smith higher than him. I had Antonio Johnson higher than him.
I don't hate the pick. It's just, please have Voorhees there next.
Yeah.
Please have him there at 161.
I don't hate the pick, but if there's one good sign, Ballard hits on his draft safeties, except, well, the last 5th round pick he used on a safety, he ended up not even making the damn practice squad in Sean Davis. So,
well, he also drafted Nick Cross and Rodney Thomas last year.
Yeah, Julian Blackmon as well.
Kari Willis, I'd say, was a hit. He was a multi-year starter.
Yes.
In the 4th round, he just ended up retiring early, which no guy could have evaluated that coming in.
Yeah. Daniel Scott, that's an interesting one. But because of Ballard's track record at safety, I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah, like the worst picks he's had is Sean Davis and Malik Hooker, but that was a roll at the dice with his health. He
Yeah.
always has physical upside. So can't be too mad about either of those, really. Whew. So yeah, we'll see. We did use a fourth safety in this group. It doesn't mean good things though for the odds of bringing back Rodney McLeod though, which I'm kind of sad about because he was just such a great veteran rotational safety starter at times, like really really good. But hey, we'll take Daniel Scott, no problem.
Yep.
Uh,
I imagine this has probably got to be for special team purposes.
it could be, yeah. Though I know Trevor Denbo, backup safety, also has special teams work as well. So
And how can I see? Where am I seeing? You see me though, right? Oh, yeah, I see you. There we go.
yeah, this is the first pick that you could say might not have even a rotational role early on. You know, this is the fourth corner or fourth safety. Though Gus Bradley does use three safeties a lot.
It's cool. You said what?
Ooh, Packers. They go Dontavian Wicks, a wide receiver I once mocked to the Colts right around this time in like round 5 range. Very interesting player right there. Wicks in 2021, he was one of the most dominant receivers in college football. Just absolutely insane with like 1,200 receiving yards. He was like very smooth, reliable hands, could catch everything, good size, great speed. Like we liked Dontavian Wicks in 2021, but last year was disastrous. He was dropping a crazy high amount of balls. He didn't look as fast or explosive. There might have been an injury concern lingering on during the early part of the season, and then he ended the year injured. Like he was out for the entire, like after like 4 or 5 games. So Dontavian Wicks has been a faller because of that. But hey, I wouldn't be mad, rolling the dice on a guy like that in round 5, round 6. So good job by the Packers. Ooh, Jaguars pick is in. Then it's the Rams, and then it's us. Please don't take Voorhees, Jaguars. Please. All right, let's listen to what they say about Daniel Scott.
Three-year starter account had 167 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, and 6 picks.
All right, I'm back. I was jumping on to a call real quick.
You're good. I'm just listening to what they're saying about Daniel Scott.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I probably would have went Antonio Johnson, but
Yeah. I don't hate the pick though.
I mean he is a he can come down in the box a little bit and he can do some stuff. And he's long. I remember him because they played TCU last year, and he had a good game.
Yeah.
He's got some long arms.
Apparently, Jaguars take Antonio Johnson right here. So they take the top safety on our board right after us.
Okay.
Good pick by them. But I was worried for a second they were going to go Voorhees, so I'm happy on that. Now it's just the Rams remaining before the Colts' 3rd, 5th round pick. We've gone after secondary so far in round 5, but I think we could probably pivot to a different position now. Though there could be a 5th corner like Corey Trice off the board. Entertaining idea for the Colts. But the Rams pick is in, so we're up next.
All right, their pick is in.
Let's see.
Not a bad pick. That's actually some good safety depth there for Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. Let's See what the Rams go with. Don't take.
And they
Voorhees.
still have 2 picks, right? This one coming up, and then another one.
Yeah, we got one more pick right here. Rams go Nick Hampton, linebacker, Appalachian State.
Okay.
So this could be Voorhees. This could be another corner in Trice. We could go running back. We could go wide receiver again. So many directions. Catfish and Bass says, if Voorhees falls to us again, take him. He's good value. Yes, the torn ACL is scary, but it's the 5th round. It's not the 1st. I agree. I concur, Catfish and Bass.
Antonio Johnson didn't really have that great of a raw score, but I mean, he graded out at 4.7, which isn't necessarily the greatest.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and go to
Colts pick is in.
Wicks. Hey, shocker. Daniel Scott graded out as a 9.94 on Raw.
Yeah, who would have thought that Ballard would have valued an athlete right here? Jeez. All right. So, Voorhees. Manifest. Let's go. Oh, Colts pick is in right here, Michael. They're announcing it.
Okay. Hold on, don't tell me. I want to see it. Will Mallory?
Tight end, Miami.
Okay.
Would you believe me if I told you he was a over 9 RAS guy?
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Let's see what the specific number is.
Let's see here. Yep. Gotta see the specific number.
Yep.
I didn't think tight end was going to be that great, but Ballard didn't hint at it. It's a deep draft.
Zach Kuntz, the number 10 RAS guy.
Huh.
Like the only guy who's more athletic according to RAS than Jelani Woods. Zach Kuntz is still available. But Will Mallory, tight end out of Miami, he had a 9.39 unofficial as like things were coming in. 6'4", 240 pounds, and ran a 4.54, and great jumps. So, hey, Ballard goes athlete yet again.
Yep, another athlete. I'm not going to be mad about athlete. Again, more and more tight ends, wide receivers. It never hurts anybody.
Yep.
Never hurt.
Chase Brown going to the Cincinnati Bengals. I really liked him. But yeah, that's the 2 remaining 5th-round picks. Maybe not quite what we were expecting with Daniel Scott and with Will Mallory, but, can't hate them too much for going for yet another athlete pair.
Yeah, and needs.
Yeah, they're underrated needs. They're depth, they're rotational potentially. Yeah, it could turn into something really, really interesting, depending on how our depth chart shapes out at safety and tight end. So
yeah, Colts will pick again in 13 picks.
There's still the chance Voorhees is there, everyone. Buckle up.
Yeah.
But it's understandable that he'd fall because of the injury. No question about it. So it's not just the Colts that are passing on him. at this value. It's everyone else too because of that reason.
Yeah, solid receiving tight end in Will Mallory. Good size. Really runs routes really well here.
Yeah, that puts some pressure on like a Kylan Granson.
Yeah.
Just because they
Guys
have
on Granson, maybe even put pressure on Molly Cox.
Well, does he have the blocking pedigree?
I think he's more of a receiving threat. I didn't study Will Mallory too much, so I couldn't say yes or no. But from everything I'm seeing, I mean, this guy is a receiving threat.
Yeah, it's him, like Ogletree, and maybe Granson. Like
I mean, this guy is lining up in the slot.
Yeah. The Vikings go QB. Jaron Hall out of BYU.
Not bad.
Vikings. All right. I swear, if he's there in the 5th or maybe even the 6th round, I'd be ecstatic to get Voorhees.
Let me see. Hold on.
Someone, if his medicals check out and he heals right, someone's going to get a insane steal with him. I know injuries are the concern, but hey, that's a concern with everyone at some point in this league.
Will Mallory graded out at a 9 basically a 9 on the Ross calculator.
Mm.
And I'm actually just watching some of his stuff right now because this is the first pick of this draft that I'm just like, haven't studied enough about him. But from everything I'm seeing, I mean, the guy is a receiving threat. He's lining up in the slot. He's going in motion. He's running all kinds of routes, really breaking down the zone. He's looking like he's a security blanket for the quarterback. Really able to do a lot of things here. Yeah, look at this. Going over the middle. Crossers go over, opens up the middle of the field. Bang, first down. Guy is there. He's an athlete. He sure looks like an athlete.
But hey, we got Adebawore and we got Darius Rush in day 3 of the draft. So
yes,
everything else is cherries on top, you know?
Yes.
So if any of these guys can produce, earn their role in a rotational role, or maybe even become starters, or crazy enough, anything beyond like just a starter into like a good starter, Pro Bowls, all pros, if anything like that happens, we're ecstatic over the moon. But of course, this is the part where, the idea is you're getting guys to fill out the back of the roster and rotate in.
Yeah.
Like 99% of the time.
Not gonna lie, man. I think I'm falling in love with this pick.
Ooh, Scott or Mallory?
Mallory.
Mm.
My goodness, this guy, he's getting in space. He's got some wheels for a guy at 6'4". Just not fast enough to play wide receiver, but he is too fast to be a fullback or tackle.
Yeah, 4.5 speed. Nice.
Man, this is really good. This is a really good pick. It's looking like good depth.
Yep.
So really, as we're getting into the 5th round, Terrell Smith, corner from Minnesota, goes to the Bears. These guys are going to be potential picks. Depth. Really see if you can develop them in a couple years and see where you're at with them. Man, this is awesome.
Ooh, I just saw an interesting nugget from Zach Kiefer of The Athletic. He said Chris Ballard thought this was the deepest, one of the deepest tight end drafts in years. At 162, they go with Will Mallory. And apparently Bill Mallory, his grandfather, was a longtime coach at IU from 1986 to 1976. I did not make that connection that he was the grandson of Bill Mallory. That's really cool. And he led the Hoosiers to their most recent bowl win in the 1991 Copper Bowl. So that's pretty cool.
Did you say the Copper Bowl?
Copper Bowl. 1991.
Man, they had a bowl about metal? That's awesome.
Or police. You can't catch me, copper. Do the metal. Yeah, Copper Bowl, man. Hey, they get all these weird, crazy sponsorships for these bowls, man. I don't like it, but hey, got to make that money in college.
Yep. Trying to see here for more updates in the draft. Bear with me. Jaron Hall's off the board. As you noted, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Here, oh my gosh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Corey Trice is still out there, which is kind of shocking with some of these corners coming off.
Uh-huh.
Darrell Luter Jr. from Southern Alabama. He's really interesting as a press corner too, but he's gone. Went Terrell Smith. Chiefs, their pick is in. And then we have the Rams, the Cards, Cowboys, Jets, Rams again, Giants, 49ers, Texans, and then Buccaneers, and then us.
Mm.
So, let me fix that one too.
Ugh.
We got 11 picks to go, and then we're going to kind of call it.
Yeah.
But
Trying to hold out for these last picks here.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it to round 6, though, in terms of the final 3 picks. Though, if something crazy happens, we'll definitely try and keep you guys updated on Twitter and give our analysis there if we have the time. I know Michael's got some adulting obligations. So, but we'll try and keep you up to date if you guys want some information from us.
Yeah, man, this is all good right here. This is a versatile tight end that you're getting in Will Mallory. He's got, probably needs to work on blocking, maybe a little bit. But from what I've seen in the passing department, man, this guy is really going off. He's making plays. And honestly, that's all you can do. Again, get potential, get talent, get potential. I mean, you're not going to find year one all pros in the 5th round. But, man, you can find a guy that sneaks past and you can develop that. And so best thing about Will is from everything I've seen, he's got wheels on him. And I want to see it. Jelani Woods, Will Mallory, can they be a formidable duo at tight end for years to come? We'll see. But I like the potential. I'm not expecting anything year one, but the potential past 2023 is the question.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's some guys who are going to make some short-term rotational impacts as well, and role players at like wide receiver 3 and cornerback 3 and 4, possibly rotational offensive linemen, and of course a starting caliber quarterback. We just need to develop them, of course. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be some year one impacts, but there's also going to be some year one struggles. Let's not kid ourselves. Not all these guys are absolutely perfect, polished guys, or else they'd all be going round 1, So let's be patient. Let's enjoy the development and watch these young kids grow.
Yeah, everybody was excited for Voorhees. Tight end ain't bad. It's not. It's good. It's good talent. It's good potential, and I like it. Again, we'll have all offseason to talk about it. We'll be at training camp, and we'll be able to see these guys up close and personal and see really what it is they're working with. And I'm excited. I'm excited about tight end room getting a little crowded. It's not a given that they're going to carry 4 tight ends. They might carry 3. Who is going to be those 3? You got Jelani Woods, Mo Alley-Cox, Pharoah Brown, Andrew Ogletree, Kylan Granson, and now you add Will Mallory to it.
So 6 guys right now who you could possibly conceive being on the starting lineup, and there's 3 or 4 in the final roster, and there's 3 or 4 spots most likely.
If I'm just being honest, I feel like it's not looking good for guys like Kylan Granson, Andrew Ogletree, and Mo Alley-Cox. It's not looking good for those guys. Or Faroa Brown. I'm not going to say that, he's a lock to get here. He's a signed free agent. He's not a lock to make the roster. But guys like Kylan Granson and Andrew Ogletree, they got to be worried a little bit.
I think Mo Alley Cox and Jelani Woods are the two more safer ones, if I had to guess, because
Mo Alley Cox, really?
Yeah, just because of the contract, the fact that the tight end coach absolutely loves Mo Alley Cox. He was constantly showing him his the tape of Mo Alley Cox while he was the tight end and offensive coordinator for Iowa State and also for UC. He loves Mo. So I feel pretty safe about Mo doing that. And plus, with Furrow Brown, I don't see really as an improvement over Mo Alley Cox overall. And Will Mallory seems like he's more of a guy who could threaten the Kylan Granson and Ogletree type of tight end if we're looking for that kind of role. So,
yeah, Henry Tuotuo,
more likely safer ones of those six. And
Henry Tuotuo is going to Houston.
Ooh, that's a good value pick right there for them.
Linebacker out of Alabama. I think with this next one, I think I'm anticipating linebacker. Maybe.
I still got a feeling we're going to get an offensive lineman at some point, but I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for some of these later round tackles. There's some interesting ones. I really like Luke Haggard out of IU as a backup left tackle. I wouldn't mind having him stay in Indy.
Go back to the comments here. Ballard is killing the draft. I agree.
Harrison Hype.
When I heard the name Daniel Scott, it kind of, I'm like, where have I heard that name before? And then it hit me. He was on Cal when they played TCU. Absolutely was a dog, was all over the field. I like the pick. Kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit because Cal, University of Cal doesn't really care about athletics. So they don't really market their sports at all. So kind of got lost in the shuffle. I didn't necessarily pay attention to Daniel Scott. But, man, definitely got to now. We all do, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If Voorhees is still there, we need to just squeeze the trigger and take him. I mean, come on. It's the 5th round. I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to Andrew Voorhees, what if he still goes in the 6th round? I mean, teams are passing on him for a reason, right? So there's a chance he could still be there in the 6th round. I wouldn't rule that out. But now, Andrew Voorhees, yes. But what about linebacker?
Linebackers just went off the board back-to-back with Henry Tuotuo going to the Texans and Owen Papo, the linebacker at Auburn, going to the Cardinals. So maybe your prediction of linebacker could be coming true just because we're seeing a possible run right now.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Real quick, sorry to cut you off. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Utah linebacker is still there, right?
Yep, he's still there.
He's still there, yeah.
He'd be interesting.
D. Winters from TCU is still there, although I'm not sure if he's a Ballard-type linebacker. Probably not. He's probably
there.
Huh?
Ivan Pace Jr.
Ivan Pace from Cincinnati. You got Mikael Jones from Syracuse. You still got some guys. Again, one name that intrigued me is Aubrey Miller Jr. from Jackson State.
Yeah. There's still a few linebackers I'd be comfortable getting in round 5, round 6, round 7, depending on how they fall. So, yeah. Not too bad overall.
No, not bad at all. And again, these later rounds is when these are the picks that Chris Ballard tends to hit on.
Yeah. He who would have thought, for example, a Rodney Thomas II would end up being our starting safety for the entire season.
Hey man, I got audio and video evidence. I was high on Rodney Thomas. I was told he was going to be a practice squad guy who needs about 2 years of development. Something about his film just popped off, man. It popped off that he needs to be on an NFL field, not a practice squad. Year 1, he came out And I wasn't even alone in that thinking. There were others that joined it as well. When it
Like,
came
I like
to
his
Julian,
smarts and his instincts, but the
yes,
problem was coming out, no one really knew where to put him in terms of positionally, because some people were saying, like, he was drafted technically as a linebacker.
yeah,
There's also some people were saying, oh, maybe he should go to corner. Others are saying he goes to safety. So for me, like, I liked the versatility and the intelligence, but I was like, where do we put this guy? It was kind of hard to project what, if anything, he was going to be at that point. But hey,
yeah.
turned into a damn good
With
safety.
Rodney, man, I still remember he played linebacker, he played corner, slot corner, he played both safety spots. He was everywhere for Yale. I don't even know what their mascot is. He was everywhere for Yale at the Ivy League. So, hey, man,
I don't know.
if anything, he's a very intelligent player.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I really think the Colts will be moving on from Mo after his contract is up. Man, should have never gave him that contract in the first place, but should have moved on after this season. 24-year-old 6'6" Voorhees would be a steal at any pick in the future. I agree. They made a lot of pennies once. Wait, what?
Who made pennies once?
They made a lot of pennies? I'm not sure. Elaborate on that one.
I think Nomadic Brian is talking about the Mo Alley Cox contract.
Oh, okay. Harrison Hype. Let's get it. Thanks for the analysis, fellas. I've been going in and out of Colts podcasters who are doing the live draft, and y'all been the best. Keep up the good work. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Much love. We appreciate you, man. Harrison, I believe. Yeah, Harrison Hype. Thank you, man. That really hyped me up, huh? Get it? Huh? All right. So, Luke, let's go to Luke. I'm so excited for camp photos. Yeah, Luke. Yeah. I'm so excited for camp photos and camp interviews as well. So,
man, this is going to be a photogenic class. There's so many athletes. We're going to get some good pictures at camp.
Hey, man, Julius Brents is a photogenic person now.
And then the next comment is Harrison Hype again saying, by the way, Mallory is a great receiving tight end, but sucks in blocking right now. I'm a Canes fan, so I watched him play. You know what, Harrison?
Awesome.
I'm going to trust your analysis right there, and going off of that kind of sounds similar to what me and Michael have been hearing a little bit. So yeah, he doesn't seem like he's going to be the guy who threatens Mo Alley Cox's role in terms of what we're going to be asking him to do. Again, more so Kylan Granson or Ogletree.
Yeah, man, Harrison, I agree, and plus I'm gonna take your word for it. You're a Canes fan, so you've watched so much more Will Mallory football than me. Okay, so I'm gonna take your word for it. Harrison says that he needs to work on the blocking. Well, from the highlights that I just watched, everything was about receiving and nothing was about blocking. So, got a point there. Maybe it's also forecasting that as well. But I like the pick just based on potential of what he can be receiving wise, and of course, maybe pack on a few pounds, maybe. Because guys nowadays, man, with technology, workout programs, nutrition plans, you can always get stronger and you don't have to weigh 260, 250. So the way college sports in general, nutrition and weightlifting is changing very differently. Catfish and Bass. Good pick, Texans. I'm assuming she was talking about the I'm sorry if I said she. I don't know if you're a male or female. I'm sorry. But
it's hard to tell with
good,
that name.
Right. Catfish and Bass. Maybe it's two people. But
one's
good. I'm assuming they're talking about the Henry Tuotuo pick.
Yeah.
Catfish and Bass again. If there's a run on linebackers, then we need to take a linebacker before offensive line. I agree. And then Copper Ball. I still don't. Dude, my gosh. Copper. Can you imagine if they do the St. Augustine Bowl or the Kentucky Blue Bowl?
This next bowl is sponsored by Air.
Air.
Never leave home without it.
Dude, there's a Mexican salsa called Chi-Chi's.
Chi-Chi's? So the Chi-Chi Bowl?
It's funny because a YouTuber that I know. I don't know personally. I think we all could know about him. His name is Ego the Cholo. And he created an ad sponsor talking about when you go to your next salsa party, don't forget to whip out your chichi.
Just whip out the chichi. Damn. I'm just gonna keep it wholesome and say the chichi sounds a little bit like a maracas note.
Oh my God! Just a little inside Mexican joke. That was funny though, dude. That was funny. I think we got some more comment. Oh my gosh. I'm channel catfish living in the depths. Dang! Y'all got internet down in the depths. What kind of internet y'all use? Algae or bacteria? I'm a comedian, man. I should probably get out of the podcasting business.
They literally surf on the World Wide Web.
Right.
They're in the
She also has
chips.
She's also has chips. I didn't know that.
Man, okay. Michael, as the owner of this site, as one of the founders, I think you need to make it your mission to have one of our sponsors be Chi-Chi's at this point. We're just giving free advertising right now. Call them up, say, hey, I'm a content creator right now. We're running a sports show. Give us some money and we will continue to promote your product because we love your product. Come on, let's get that bag, man. Let's get you that money. Yo, Chi-Chi's, call us. We'll be waiting on the phone.
I'm stupid, man. I laugh at stuff like that.
Man, you ain't stupid, but you just funny.
Nah.
Oh, damn. Chi-Chi's just killed Michael.
Let's get serious. Let's get back to football here. Christopher Smith, safety from Georgia, just went to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts, I think, are the second to last pick of the 5th round. That is in 6 picks. So the Buccaneers are on the clock right now, followed by New York Giants, the 49ers, the Rams go twice, and then it is the Colts. The Rams actually have 3 of the last 4 picks of the 5th round. Little nugget there. That's crazy. They go twice in front of the Colts and then once after the Colts to finish out the 5th round.
Yeah, and right now, the Buccaneers, they go Payne Durham, tight end.
Oh!
I really
know fans are pushing the air right now.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I remember I was on a mock and I projected Payne Durham going in like round 4, and these guys, these Ravens fans are like, who? They had never heard of this man before. I'm like, y'all got to listen to this. He is a great blocking tight end. He dominated at like the Senior Bowl. He was great. We love Payne Durham. Congrats to the Purdue guy going to Tampa Bay. Enjoy the weather.
Yeah. Look at Luke here. Can't wait for Mike to call Chi-Chi's and show him the clip of saying to whip out their salsa.
Give Mike all the monkeys. Like, we're going to get demonetized at this rate, man. Come on. Come on, Mike. Listen, you're going to get sponsored for Chi-Chi's with your salsa, and as an Italian, I'll get sponsored for penne pasta.
Bro, crying right now.
You got some bilingual comedy coming at you right here.
Oh my gosh.
Things get weird in day 2. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat.
Whip out your Chi-Chi's and we get right.
Damn.
Where's my dang hat? Where did I throw it at?
Man, you threw it over there, man. I don't even know.
Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie. I love y'all guys.
Wilding on day 3.
Wow. I love you guys.
Ooh,
I love y'all so much. Wow.
Giants with the next pick. Let's return back to football.
Yes.
Giants go Eric
Please.
Gray, running back Oklahoma.
Wait, who? Oh, Eric Gray. Hey, Eric, let's get it. Let's get it. Going to New
Not
York.
for Eric.
He would go to New York.
Ah,
He would go to New York with his freaking fashion. Got to block at that tight end position, correct? Yeah. If anything, Will Mallory got to pick that up unless they have to draft another. Maybe they might have to draft Brock Bowers, huh?
Zach Kuntz is still out there.
Yeah.
Might not be a blocker either, but if we want athletes, sure. That comment has officially killed Michael.
Luke is a German that can make sausage for us all.
Just don't ask Jim Irsay how it's made. You don't have the answer.
Nah. Hey, Lucas or Jay, whichever one you go by. Bring the penne. I'll bring the chi-chis. Luke will bring the sausage.
Man, we're really getting phallic with our comedy over here.
Luke, you still got to make some sausage, though, man.
Hey, Italians make good sausage. What can we say?
Hey, I like it. What's your favorite sausage to eat, by the way? I'll do jalapeno cheese.
Jalapeno cheese is not bad. Man, we just put a bunch of spices in there and call it a day.
Oh, okay.
We don't
See, I had one, but it was just too much spice.
Yeah. We usually have the cheese on the outside of the sausage rather than on the inside.
Yeah.
At least in Italian traditional cuisine. But hey, I'm not opposed to it though.
Yeah. The Bucks traded up for Payne Durham. They must have liked him if they traded up for him.
Lots to like about him. Eric
Gray going to New York. Eric Gray, friend of the pod, had him on earlier in the offseason for an interview. Really chill guy, man. He's big into fashion, so going to New York kind of helps it out a little bit. It's kind of maybe a dream place for him. They're down by Broadway. So the 49ers are up, and then the LA Rams are going to go twice. So if we get back to the board, yes, everyone's favorite Andrew Voorhees is still there. Linebacker is still an underrated need. You took care of safety. You drafted 2 corners in Brent and Rush. Now when you go back to corner, Terrell Smith came off the board from Minnesota. Kyle Blue Kelly from Stanford came off the board. See, update this one. Too busy talking about salsa here. You got Eli Ricks from Alabama still there. Corey Trice Jr. is still on the board.
It'd be nice.
But if you just think outside the box, go to linebacker. Diaby from Utah is still there. You got Ivan Pace Jr., Aubrey Miller Jr. Aubrey Miller Jr. still intrigues me, man. He still intrigues me. He was making plays last year. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to edge. I believe Andre Carter II is still there from Army. Good athlete.
He was a good athlete, but the problem was he was more of a better athlete on tape than when he tested in Indy. Some people say it was because of the Army fitness standards were completely different than what you're trying to test for in the combine. So because that he wasn't in the ideal combine shape, So yeah, he's got his fulfillments that he has to do with Army. So we salute that, of course. But at the end of the day, it probably didn't help his draft stock at all. He was considered possibly a round 2, round 3 pass rusher by some boards. So
now look out,
continue to fall.
Look out for the Rams here. They're up twice right here in front of the Colts. They're up twice. They could use a corner, could get another receiver, could possibly get another running back. They still got a few needs on their side as well. So look out for them right here. Wide receiver Ronnie Bell is still there. Man, I think LA, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think LA would be a real good spot for D Winners out of TCU.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good spot.
Are we still waiting for the TCU pick for round 5? So we got to get the streak going, man. LA or the Colts.
Darius Davis went in the 5th round, right?
I thought he went in the 4th.
I could have swore he went in the 5th. Let me double check.
Yeah, check to make sure. But still, you'd have 5 TCU picks in the first 5 rounds, though. So, keeps the
No, I think he went in the 4th. I think you're right.
Still 5 prospects in the first 5 rounds. You're averaging it out. Unless the LA Rams, with one of their 3 remaining 5th round picks, take a TCU player, or the Colts. The Colts could go TCU. Max Duggan is still out there, right?
Yeah, Max Duggan. I believe Malik Cunningham is still out there. That's a guy I really like. I really like Malik Cunningham. I think there's some traits there to work with for this staff. So look out for him. Running back is still there, man. Deuce Vaughn is still there. Zach Evans is still there. Muhammad Ibrahim is still there. This is the beauty of having all these picks. Maybe they're not needs, but you can stash young talent there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the Rams selection right here.
Also insane that we have 10 day 3 picks.
That's insane.
Yeah. 1 on day 1, 2 on day 2, 10 on day 3.
Let's see here. Okay, take a while to announce this pick now. Come on.
Ooh, Rams first pick.
Bro, you do not have to show those highlights about Robert Beal Jr.
Yeah, so it's Warren McClendon, DT or OT from Georgia. Is their first of their 2 back-to-backs.
You said Warren McClendon?
Yep. Good pick.
Okay.
But their other pick is in as well.
Okay.
I'm surprised they don't immediately announce them back-to-back. Barely any delay, but I know they want to get all the information for Warren.
Yeah. And also allow the production team to go through their graphics and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one right there.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys are still – Luke Wempler is still here, man. He's still here.
Yeah, if we want a long-term backup center to compete with Danny Pinter,
yeah,
that would be a really good pick. I liked Whippler. I had him as a round 3 potential guy. So him being here in late round 5, great value.
Kenny McIntosh is still on the board here. I would really, if he came to Indy, man, I would love the addition of Kenny McIntosh.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, Georgia got Jalen Carter, Broderick Jones, Nolan Smith, Darnell Washington, and Keely Ringo, Stetson Bennett, Christopher Smith, Robert Beal Jr., and Warren McClendon, all off the board just for Georgia players.
Yeah. I mean, we got to get in on the Georgia players, right?
I think we're doing pretty well with that. When was the last time we drafted a Georgia player?
Damn.
Yeah, it's been a minute, I think.
I think it's been a long time.
But hey, we've still had some pretty good draft success even without any Georgia players in this recent iteration of how dominant this Georgia team has been over the last few years. We've still drafted well without that. We're not the Eagles, but we still get along just fine without Georgia.
Yeah. Trying to see, man, what's this next pick going to be for the Rams? I mean, really, they can pick here and then the Colts, and then they can pick again.
Yep. Jalen Duncan as well at the tackle out of Maryland if we are kicking Blake Freeland inside.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind that either. J.L. Skinner.
Yeah, he's still out there. Andre Usivas from Princeton still here.
Mm-hmm. And the other name I mentioned earlier, Andre Carter, is still there.
Yeah. Trey Palmer, too.
Yeah.
Like him.
I mean, these could be luxury picks, man. Just keep adding talent. Just keep Keep rostering talent. Here goes the next selection for the Rams.
But even if it's not a guy that we want or like we're expecting here, I'm not going to stress too much over an end of round 5 pick not going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, it's not the end of the world if we don't get Voorhees. I'd like it though. Davis Allen, tight end from Clemson, goes to the Rams.
Okay.
So we got the opportunity for Voorhees again.
All right. So where are we looking? Me personally, I think I'm gonna go Luke Wempler.
Oh, the pick is already in.
The pick is already in.
Sense. I'm gonna keep going Voorhees until I'm proven wrong. And
Okay. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. In the comments, let us know who y'all think is next. Who do y'all want? Let us know. Let's rattle off the things right now. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, Catfish and Bass thinks that he's going to go undrafted Voorhees because of those medicals.
Hey.
Could be. He'd be awesome UDFA.
I think that's a realistic option.
Yeah, that medical is scary, it sounds like.
Yeah, Colts pick is already in, so let's see it.
Enough about Davis Allen. Good for him. Congratulations to him, but what did the Colts get?
Trying to see if there's any Warren McClendon would have been a good pick for Indy too.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
And we are about to wrap up here, guys. The Colts have the second to last pick in the 5th round. Thank you for everybody who has followed along. We're going to check out this last pick here for Indianapolis in the 5th round. They do have an additional 6th and 2 7th rounders, so it is not done, but we will be done here after the 5th round here in the next couple of minutes. I mean, they've addressed a lot of their needs already, man, with really good high-end players.
Like the only thing that's like staring them in the face in terms of a need is just more offensive line depth throughout, you know?
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with it.
Like you could possibly say linebacker 4, maybe a running back like you've been saying.
Yeah.
But like really, those are also luxuries too. O-line depth is really the only thing I'd say you could argue is pressing right now at this point, but we still got free agent money.
Harrison Hype says Andrew Voorhees would be clutch AF right here. Take a chance on Voorhees. Everybody seems to be on Voorhees here.
I have the converts. Everyone loves Voorhees. We love them. Ooh. Only team in NFL history to have 5 different QBs make 12-plus starts in a 5-year span.
Yep.
Colts.
Okay, taking a little bit for this pick to go on. Okay, let's get the pick in.
Yeah, it's just in the middle of a Wendy's commercial right now, but they're not saying anything on the ticker below.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here it comes.
Here we go. Don't say anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
Put my pinky in your nose.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. What is this one? What is this one? Okay. Evan Hall, man. Not even a player. Well, I mean, it happens. It happens almost every draft. It's fine here. Evan Hall, I believe they said from Northwestern.
Yeah, not bad.
All right. A running back. Bruh.
Go RB.
We took a running. Bro, you got Deuce Vaughn, Kenny McIntosh, Muhammad Ibrahim, Zach Evans. I mean,
I like him, but he's not the top running back on my board either. You know,
he's. I don't even think he's a top 5 on my board right now. He's definitely not the top 5.
let's see what role they kind of have envisioned for him and learn a little bit more about his profile. But yeah,
Hey.
he still ain't there. But hey, we're not going to be too stressed over.
Ballard hits on later picks, so
Yeah, he has a pretty good hit rate for late round picks. Check out that RAS, 9.3. So he's a damn good athlete.
I guess, how do you take him over Kenny McIntosh? I don't.
He's ranked.
Man, it's always the later rounds where you're thinking one thing, but they have another. So, Hey, man, they're always talking about different stuff. But Evan Hall here, man, that's going to wrap it up for this stream, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who has tuned in. Enjoy the rest of day 3. Enjoy the rest, man. You got Blake Freeland. You got Odabuare. Going to work on his name, however. We got Darius Rush. We got – his name already escaped me. Will Mallory. We got this guy here, Evan Hall. I mean, we got some guys. We got some guys. We got some potential. We got some guys, and I'm all for it. So, guys, thank you for tuning in for this. Real quick, I guess we can go through some comments here. That's a question mark pick. Definitely over guys like McIntosh, Evans, Deuce. I'm Muhammad Ibrahim. I just don't understand that part, but I'm not a GM. I'm not a scout in that room. I don't know what they've gone over. If anything, maybe the deciding factor was because he had high character, I guess. I don't know.
Or maybe
or special teams.
Yeah.
Or special teams. Interesting. We shall see. Definitely. Time will tell. Ballard might be ready to move off JT, but I really, really doubt it. I don't think so. I don't think so. We picked Antonio. Who picked Antonio Johnson? Dang it. It wasn't the Bears, was it?
It was. I think it was someone in the NFC.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Later. Okay. Thank you guys so much again. Thank you for such a special weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We do it for you guys, to interact with you, to talk football with you, and we always want to be able to chat with you guys, okay? Myself, Landon, Marcus will be back this next week to talk about this entire draft, to talk about maybe all the hits and maybe where there's some misses. We still got to see what the 6th and 7th round picks look like, but other than that, guys, I got to go. Jay, I know you're probably still going to watch the rest of this draft, so guys, thank you again. We love you guys so much, and be on the lookout for more articles coming after the draft. We'll see you guys later.